Welcome to a Drop Tent Media production.
Welcome to episode 52 of the Magical Misery Tour. This episode's name, Comedy Wars. We talk about what's going down, the battle lines are being drawn, who's on what side. You better share it to everybody. We don't talk about any of that, actually. Neil disapproves of me so hard. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well.
Would it be bad if I did title this episode Comedy Wars just to get people to listen?
It probably would be pretty fucked up to do. But I mean, we could do it. Although it kind of rude.
We did that before. We did that before with the one-man band episode.
Sure. But it's also rude because we had a guest on and they were great.
They were great. It was very funny.
And we didn't talk about that at all.
We got deep into his history. Mr. John Deary. Mr. John Deary. Why did I say Mr. John Deary?
It's fine.
Because he's a mystery to everyone but himself.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see me posing seductively right now. He runs Good Hang. That's at Moonshine. I believe he said that was every first and third Thursday?
I think so.
Yeah. But yeah, just check that out. You can find him on all the things at OOH hashtag Deary. So O'Deary, that is at OH_DEARY. He also helps run along with Alyssa Alduki Makeup or Breakup at Good Comedy Theater. I believe he said that is the last Saturday of every month. The next one, I believe he said was September 27th. 28th.
8th.
There you go. But yeah, we get into it here. We have some funny stories about breaking up, cheating.
Mm-hmm. Lots of goodies in there.
What else was in there? We watch a video that I really want to pull out and put up there because it's a doozy.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. Cheating. The family dynamic I think was pretty interesting.
Couch dad.
Yeah, couch dad's in there. There's a lot of goodies in this one, and then the little clip that we're gonna have in there. Stay tuned for that. So that's a lot of. It kind of brings together death and old age and sexual stuff, sexual drive.
All the hottest things in life. All the stuff we talk about on this podcast.
Yeah. So thank you, buddy.
Yeah, and as far as me, you can find me at Jesse Dram, at Magic Misery Tour, at Neil Wood Comedy on all the things. And we are going to be on the show that is at Chalfont, PA. What's the date on that, Neil?
It's coming up on September 19th, so you can check that out. That's at the Pop-In.
Is that the one I'm on?
Yes.
September 19th?
Yes.
Okay, well. Shit, I
Thursday.
hadn't realized it was so close.
Yeah, it's a Thursday. Yeah, it's coming up. So check that out. Yeah, the tickets go fast because they sell out. And so grab them while you can, people. And that's nerdswiththeWords.podcast.com. You can go right on there, right on the homepage. You will see some stuff you can check out. So go right there, tour dates and details, and grab those tickets. $5 online, $10 at the door.
And there you go. And guys, if you like the podcast, give us a good review. Please share. Literally every little bit helps. We give this content to you free almost every week when we can get ourselves up to it. And certain people don't run an hour and a half late. Pete Eckenroth, he'll be on a future episode if we let him. Yeah, it's just, that's an intro. Enjoy the episode. Bye. Hello and welcome to the Magical Misery Tour, the place where funny people discuss life's unfunniest things. With me as always is my co-host, Neil Too Good Wood. How you doing, buddy?
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I'm doing well. Happy Thursday to you, right? Because we have to lie. This comes out on Thursday.
Yes, we're lying. This comes out on Thursday.
I realized the whole time I've been saying Happy Saturday. They're
right.
like, today's not Saturday.
Well, last week's episode came out on Monday.
I don't want to
let's just expose what horrible fucking liars we are.
Yes, we are. But it's good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you too. I really want to get into the Too Good Wood because I liked it.
I don't want. It's real stupid. I think it's real stupid just between us.
I said that Neil should adopt the stage name of Neil Too Good Wood because pretty much every one of my ideas he's too good for.
Yes,
because he's just great, and I could see that on a shirt. Just Neil Too Good Wood. I'm too good for this. S hashtag ampersand exclamation point.
I think my reputation is already pretty hacky. I don't know if I really need to get into slogans.
Your reputation is you don't suffer. You don't suffer fools. Except for one fool.
This terrible
fool
piece of
right
crap.
here. I love you, buddy.
You're such a garbage person.
I know.
I'm excited today, though.
Yeah, because we have a very good guest with us, Mr. John Deary. John, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How's it going?
Doing well, buddy.
Yeah.
You're fired up. You're ready to go,
I'm
dude.
fine. I literally woke up and came here.
I know.
So
I figured. As it is for most comics, if it's during, like, maybe noon.
yeah.
Just came here.
Yeah, no, believe me, we absolutely do this at noon just because this is the earliest I am capable of doing this. I just want to get it in and
Yeah,
get
I
it
get
out.
it. Get it out of the way.
That's
I'm
right.
down with it.
Well, before we get into anything, anything you need to promote coming up, give us your hashtags, give us your @, give us your shows.
Ooh, wow. I have, I'm on, I just missed it. It's gonna
Wasn't
it'll be
prepared.
Tuesday. No, I guess the 28th of September, you can catch my show Makeup or Breakup at perhaps the late Good Comedy Theater. We'll see how that pans out. It's going to be a lot of fun to book. I'll tell you, they're catching some heat at the moment, so we'll see how that goes.
Right.
I will absolutely do that show despite everything I've said about them because my morals are 100% for sale. So,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, you're like brand new in a relationship, right?
it's like 2 months.
Okay, I typically try to aim for 6 before people do the show, so they can have some time
Okay.
to like get real shit
That
in
makes
their
sense.
relationship.
Yeah, no, that's a great show. I saw,
Thanks.
let's just say a friend and his now ex on that show, and it was a lot of fun watching him be publicly humiliated by his girlfriend.
Publicly gaslit on my show.
That's right.
It's really good. By the way, it's a couples game show at the
Yeah.
Good Comedy Theater, and it just like kind of aims to pit couples against each other. So that's working.
Yeah. Definitely. It's a good
It's
show.
working for 3
Okay.
years.
Yeah. Pretty easy to do, actually. I think I've had multiple I've known multiple. It was like, oh shit, you did it. How did it go? I was like, it was a lot of fun. Thought I was going to be much funnier than it was. Turns out she's much funnier than I am in those instances.
Yo, there's a roast game, and the non-comedians always light up the partners.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
That's
it's
what I've
really
heard.
satisfying to watch.
Oh, it's got to be amazing to
So
watch.
I have already told my girlfriend that she really is like, no, this is my networking strategy. You're going to be the nice one who apologizes for all the horrible things I do.
Right.
Like she's already working her way in. Ellie Summerling loves her.
Yes, of course.
Brooke Tomlinson tolerates her, but I think that's the best, most affection you can get out of Brooke.
Gotcha.
You basically got an agent out of this relationship.
Yes, exactly. So, and hashtag social media anywhere.
O Deary on Twitter and Instagram. So it's OH_Deary.
Nice.
A funny take on Oh Dear, but it's me, Deary. So that's a lot of fun. You can find me on things.
Very nice.
I'm more active on Facebook than the other things, but
Yeah, same. It's trickier for me to get into Twitter just because I really don't use it as much. So to even promote, although I will admit, with all this hoopla, I have created a burner account in order to share my feelings.
Are you supposed to tell people about burner accounts?
well, they can't find him.
I guess so.
It's also, listen, I'm not straight up trolling. I am
Right.
being anonymous, but I'm not like, kill yourself, anything like that.
Okay. Well, that's good.
I learned
That's
my
a
lesson. I was too
positive
good
thing.
at that. No,
Yes.
bullshit.
Yeah. No, that's good. Well, I'm positive about that.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? Is really the question. Because did you have any other shows or anything coming up that you want to? I'm sorry.
There's Good Hang. That's another monthly, but that's
Right.
not until October. It'll be the second Thursday of October or whatever that is. I didn't have that ready.
No, that's okay.
We just had Good Hang last week and it was really great. It was a packed show. We packed that room out pretty consistently.
That's right. That's a moonshine. You said right.
That Moonshine in Philly, yeah. and it's
roughly fourth, I think, and
It's
well, no, it's like Moya
Mensing
Mensing.
Oh.
and
Okay. Gotcha.
I guess Morris, or maybe a block over from Morris,
You know,
whatever the little side street is.
so yeah. Fun fact: we record this on Morris is one of the streets.
Don't tell people where I live.
But no, I'm only bringing it up. Do you have any idea how many comics live on Morris or shit is happening on Morris right now?
I don't. I don't want to know. I like to leave it as a mystery. This way, if I do see a Josh, I saw a Josh out and about who does a great show with Jillian Markowitz. I saw him. I just looked at him.
Yeah.
Looked at him. We pointed at each other, and then we ran away from each other. We ran away hard, and we were like, "Let's pretend like we don't see each other during the daylight because it's weird."
Yeah, no, I understand
like
that
it.
entirely. I was walking home from work the other day, and I saw a Mr. Casey Kuftick coming at me, and I think he expected more conversation than I gave him. I pulled the earphone out, like, "Hey, buddy," handshake, but I like never slowed my stride even a little bit. And I like Casey, but it's just like I don't.
We're
We're vampires. We don't know
Yeah.
each other in public.
What's your safe And this doesn't have to do with. I'm just wondering your level of comfort when exchanging things with like acquaintances. Like what is your normal MO? Just like you kind of know somebody from work, or like you're like, hey, all right, yeah. Or do you actually pay lip service?
I'm cool with just a hey in passing. I don't really need. I'm not that friendly.
Right.
Honestly. It's just like, hey, what is this? Maybe a conversation if I'm like,
Yeah.
if I know them a little better, but I don't
Right.
need to stop and talk to everybody.
Where do you think that comes from? Hey, what about it? I mean, if you're self-proclaiming not that friendly, where do you think that comes from? Where do you think that? I mean, is it something that you're just like? Is it awkwardness, or is it just like, or is it nihilist? Where you're like, come on, we don't really care.
Not that outgoing of a person.
Gotcha.
I caught myself just on my phone at a party for about an hour and a half recently, and was like, man, why did I come here? What am I doing?
See, I definitely have that. If I take the subway to work, and there's a few people I know that I just like, I hide from them in the morning. Like, let's just not acknowledge each other. With the exception of Brooke Tomlinson, because we always end up on the same car, and she never recognizes us, and that's always a good excuse for me to pick up the phone and send her a creepy message. Like, oh, you look good in purple. I sent that this week.
See well, look at
A
that.
nice paper trail for that.
Yeah,
That's good.
exactly.
Taken out of context.
Okay, I got you. I know, because I agree. I do feel if people are like socially awkward, I feel bad. Tough for them. It's tough if you're just like genuinely just kind of like, ugh, I just can't. I can't do it. Like, it's not, I can't make eye contact. I can't do these kind of things. I was like, get that. Mine's completely practical. Like talking on the train. I think Brooke and I similarly got on a train together. We couldn't talk because it was too fucking loud. So I don't do the whole. It's just real practical for me. I go like, yeah. I mean, there's no point in us exchanging right now. It's packed and loud, and you're 3 people away from me. And I'm not that type of trash that like, yeah, what's going on with you? Huh? yeah. Like the arm up, just like I'm not that kind of trash.
I can tolerate that more, but if we're talking train etiquette, I can't understand the people who are like playing fucking music out of their phone. Just loud.
Those people are gone, buddy. They're
still there.
No. Oh, I mean, emotion. Yeah, they are gone to the world. Like, as in, if you were to say something, which you can, I have said some. I'm like, missing headphones, huh? Like, I just just hit them with that, and they're like, what? And maybe if they're in their own heads, they'll be like, fuck you, dude. Yeah, I don't. But what do you say? Because I've been a grumpy old guy before. I've been like, you young teens, you get off your phones with the music. It says no sound. It's like, it's not good.
The other one that really drives me crazy with train etiquette, and this, I literally just want to go like fucking windmill on people. The fucking animals who push their way onto a train before the people on have departed yet.
Yes, this is always fun. This is very common. Very, very common.
Like,
are we going to be those people complaining about train? I know. Well, I like to give the face. I like to give a face when they're getting on. I do. When I'm getting off, I go like, well, excuse me. Like, it's just, we got to do a thing. It's an exchange, right? Like, it feels right. This is like a bad Jim Gaffigan observation joke that we're doing right now. Right. This is what it feels like. Oh, you guys know the train.
We're getting into the lighter part of misery right now.
Well,
Neil, you ever hold a door open for someone and they don't say thank you and you're like, you're welcome?
Dane Cook, early 90s. Yeah. No.
I think public transportation is definitely still misery. I think we're safe to assume.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry I don't have any public transportation stories. I'm the elite.
You were supposed to prepare for this, man.
Drive everywhere I go. I Uber black everywhere, typically.
Dude, I am a spoiled suburban boy. I still need my fucking car. I've never been able to fully transfer over to the bus thing.
I know. I did it in high school, and I don't want to go back.
Yeah. Now, well, hold on. Where are you originally from?
Northeast Philadelphia.
Okay, so that's the kind of, like, is it the part where it's still a little Philly, or the part where it's basically the suburbs
It's Philly. It's Philadelphia.
Okay.
It's not that far northeast where you're like Benson. Like, it's not that far.
Right.
Like Coney.
Okay.
It's trash.
All right, where's the cutoff? I keep, because we talked about it with Peggy, Ryan's from I go like, where does it start to be? Because Ben Salem, I'm familiar with it. It feels like when I'm there, I'm like, yeah, all right, this is not. But is it before that? Does the line drop down? Like, where does it feel like northeast and then different?
Ben Salem, I don't think is technically Philadelphia.
Right, it's not the line. Right, okay. Well, I knew that.
I put the line directly at like Route 63, exit 35, because that's the one where you get off. Literally, if you go to the left, you're still in Philadelphia, and if you go to the right, it's just like regular suburban America.
Okay,
that's a great line. That's a good line. Yeah,
I'm
way before that.
That helps.
Or was way before that.
Gotcha.
No.
I like far Frankfurt Ave.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Past the L.
So what's your family situation coming up? What's it like? You guys siblings? What are your parents like?
Coming up, divorced parents. They're on and off. Yeah, that's the way to go. And then a
Oh wait,
sister.
on and off divorced parents.
They tried to make it work for a little bit, but didn't.
Okay, yeah.
It's actually funny. They were split up, and then for my birthday, I wished for them to get back together. And they were like, "Man, we should definitely appease this 6-year-old. They probably know what's best for us."
Literally like
Did
They
this is
tried.
like the 90s family film. Like,
Yeah.
Jim Carrey doesn't have enough time for his wife and son.
I'm picturing such a young Chad Deary sitting there and really laying it on thick for this wish.
Yeah.
Like this was an out loud wish. Like,
Right.
What'd you
Also,
wish
yeah,
for?
why
son?
wouldn't it work? I made the wish out loud.
Right,
It was doomed to fail.
You know what'd be good? Happy family with both parents.
Yeah.
And just laying it in
But
there.
they tried. They got a house.
Oh, wow.
Like
Wow.
they didn't own a home together until after I made that wish.
Holy
They
shit.
bought a house. They tried again for a couple years, and it didn't take.
So your wish came true just for a very not a lot of power behind it. Like could have maybe used to soup up a little bit, throw some nitrous on that wish tank.
Or not announced it.
Or that, yeah.
Oh, I'm wondering how those years were for the time that they were trying. The time that you had basically held them at ransom for their marriage. When you were doing that, how were those years? Did you notice anything different, or were they really just keeping it away from you?
I was probably pretty young to really take in how their relationship was going, but there was a lot of dad couch sleeping.
Oh, I know all about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, don't try to talk. If you're going to do water and then I'm going to cut you. Yeah. Okay. That's
What?
great. Thank you, buddy. Professional.
Don, you have water there. Feel free to drink it
thank
at
you. I
any
wasn't sure.
time as loudly.
It was sitting here. I wasn't sure if it was someone's from before or what.
Yeah, Jesse's favorite joke among just our audio listeners is to do so into the microphone, which is always good.
I'm not. Hey!
You're being a jerk. I'm trying to professionally make it so that when he pours it, no one will know and it's perfect. And then you try to talk like just.
But you already brought attention to me doing it, Neil.
Yep.
Did I pour too loudly?
No, you were perfect because I brought you down.
Yeah,
But
my
then-
birthday is coming up, and my wish is that Neil is more supportive of my ineptitude.
No, I refuse. And the fact that you did it out loud, now we know that I need to bend to your will, get a house with you.
I didn't.
You've got a couple years of support from Neil.
Yeah. I'm locked in.
I liked when we lived together. I know you hated it. You hated it.
I didn't hate it.
Neil, let's move in together. Let's take our respective ladies and let's get a house.
Stop building the
In
sitcom.
Northeast Philadelphia.
Yeah, in Northeast Philadelphia, of
Yes.
course.
It's probably pretty cheap real estate right now.
I think so. I think it's a decent buy.
It's not doing great.
Gotta do it. I don't know. Everyone's buying it up though. It feels like everyone's buying Northeast. Everybody. It's just like, yeah, they're gentrifying that whole thing.
Yeah, well, when I was looking for a new place, I was looking in Port Richmond, and like they're really trying to ride that wave of gentrification they got out of Fishtown and keep it expanding. Although it's interesting because now they're trying to push out like the poor white trash folk, and I don't know. It's interesting.
Is it? No, yeah, it is. I get you. But so let's get back.
Yeah.
So dad's sleeping on couch.
Yeah.
These are
that's
years are struggling. Brothers, sisters, or anything like
one
that?
sister, yeah.
Okay.
Younger sister.
Younger. Okay, so you're the if anyone's gonna realize something or deal with anything going on between the parents, it would be you, since being the oldest, really.
That means when your dad left, he said, "You're the man of the house now.
Yeah, of course.
I'll
yes.
be on the couch occasionally."
We're in a movie.
He was on the couch the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh,
There is, oh god,
Bought a
there is
house.
something. I don't think there's a more beautiful phrase that encompasses more than couch dad.
yeah.
Like I have a painting in my head immediately. I'm thinking of my stepdad recently passed away, and he was very much couch dad.
Yeah.
Let me ask if you had this experience with couch dad. If you came out into the living room and decided to watch something on TV with couch dad there, did he immediately wake up and say, "I was watching that"?
I've had that, yeah.
Fucking couch dads, man.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about them?
Did you have any feelings or talks with your dad about what was going on then, or were they really just not talking
No,
to you
we've
about
never
it?
talked
Okay.
about feelings or anything. We've never developed a relationship.
Irish background?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Got it.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, he stayed on that couch the whole time.
Holy shit.
He like, I just considered the living room his bedroom. And even after my parents split and she left, he stayed on he's slept on the couch every night. He just used to it, I guess, accustomed to it, preferred to sleep on the. I don't Can't be good for you.
No, living room, bedroom is another thing that really does paint a picture. I have a few friends. Like I have a friend who lives with his family. You go in and just his mom and his sister's bedroom is the living room, and it's really sad, and I'm uncomfortable with it. And I remember, this is why I ran away to the city.
That's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, coming from there's a way to do it. I mean, you just don't ever allow that person to feel comfortable. And you make sure that they always clean up after themselves. People are coming over, get your shit, and make this look like a regular living room.
Yeah.
As my mother would. If anyone ever slept on the couch was kept perfect at all times. Sitting on it was adjacent to what the couch's function was.
All right, this sounds very Italian, though.
Yes, yeah. My mom had
Did you have plastic on the couches?
You know what? No. Plastic tables. They didn't go as far.
Plastic tables?
Plastic on the tables. If you were eating on the table, you had a very nice, beautiful, like, not knitted, whatever the doily, like a large, professionally done doily for every table.
Don't go spilling the prosciutto on the coffee table. That's the first knocked over vape of the podcast.
So that, and then if anyone were ever to eat on the table at all, of course, yes, we had plastic for those, and that would come out, and then your elbows would stick to it as all skin does to plastic.
Well, your elbows shouldn't be on the table anyway.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
There you go.
But no, my mom was a big fan of, again, with a stage home, my mom was a fan of staged chairs in corners. So she would have these very antique chairs, and they'd be in corners. And everyone, if they were new to the house, especially friends of mine, they wouldn't know not to sit in those chairs. And my mom would have to go, hey, whoa, what do you, get the fuck up? What's in your
This
dirty
sounds
ass?
very culty, evil eye, Catholic, like, no, the demons they're restricted within these squares.
No, a home is just a place for moms to put their collectibles. That's really all homes are from my point of view. And everything is untouched. And there's certain areas where you're allowed to do things. But other than that, no. You sleep up, just
Who'd
don't
you
touch
like
it.
better, your mom or your dad?
Strong.
I have a much better relationship with my mom,
God,
even though I lived with my dad.
Wait, when did you end up living with your dad then? So
my parents split up, I'd say maybe when I was 12. Again, they split up again. I stayed with my dad. My mom, they gave me the choice.
How did that shake? Oh, okay.
She's like, you're old enough to decide which parent you want to live with. And I was like, I'm going to live with dad because that'd be chill as fuck.
Yeah, that's what you always think.
You live with dad and you realize dad doesn't take care of himself
This
for
is
us.
sad. Right.
This is so chill.
What were some of the examples of maybe not? Your dad's like, doesn't really take care of us. Like, I mean, we're talking...
You have to go stay with your mom for a few days because I didn't pay the electric bill.
Okay. I was hoping it was lower, just kind of just like, a lot of Hungry Man meals. Because I got those.
A lot of ordering out.
Yeah.
Yeah, dads are good for that. I'm still fat to this day because looking back now, my dad's fucking horrible lessons. Like, hey, you're going to come over for the weekend and we're going to make dad burgers and they're going to be a half pound and we're going to put a half slice of Velveeta cheese on it and then we're going to drink soda and watch Beavis and Butthead. And also you're like 5 years old and you weigh like 120 pounds. But let's just roll with that.
You love your dad, though, don't you?
Yes,
love your
I
dad?
do.
Yeah,
Love you,
do.
Pop. Where you at?
He's dead. He's dead, Joe.
Yeah, I know.
He's dead, Jess. Yeah.
I remember in high school I had to do a food log for health class.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
dear
Log.
God. Okay.
And the teacher saw mine and was legitimately concerned. He's like, are you okay? You don't eat.
Wow.
I was like, I eat twice a day. That's enough, right?
Yeah.
Wow. You
Makes you hungry.
Yeah.
I know it's Christmas season, but these candy canes on top of your lunch meat seems excessive. I feel like that is. Oh, that's
Okay,
wonderful.
so
How was
wait.
your sister? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was wondering how the sister was faring. So, did you guys live? So you went with your dad. She went with your
Yeah, she
mom.
went with my
Classic.
mom. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Usually, okay. So I guess you're right at that age where you get to make the choice. Yeah. So you're right at that age where you're kind of like 12. They'll go like, "Do you want to live with who?" Because I was too young for that kind of thing. But it was
Also, your dad didn't want you.
that was yeah, okay. I take back the dad was dead comment. That's my bad. But yeah, so okay. But I got the every other weekend. So then are you going to visit your mom every other
Yeah,
weekend?
we're seeing each other all the time.
Okay.
I think she's picking me up from school a lot. I'd stay at her house after school a lot.
Okay, so there wasn't like rules
There was
like
a lot
the
of
court
overlap.
that gave.
Yeah, there
okay.
was no set schedule.
We had court.
a little bit
issued.
alternating windows, weekends.
See, we had the lucky. My mom said repeatedly, like, your dad was not a good father, but he came with his family, and they were fucking awesome.
Right.
Because they were never like married, so they weren't divorced. So I would just get shuffled back and forth during the week between multiple, Irish aunts and uncles that are all teenagers. So
You had the it takes a village raising.
yes,
Yeah,
I was
you
raised
were-
by a village
Right.
of
of babushkas, all like or
Yes.
Polish babushkas, whatever those are. I don't-
Polish and Irish.
what do they call
so-
them? What do they call your
babci.
babchis? Yeah, your babchis. I know
My
you guys.
my
you-
babchis and my chachis and my jajis.
Oh, you're definitely cult. It sounds.
And when I was
cultish.
bad, they hit me on my dupa.
It sounds like it's all baby language.
It does.
It is
sounds
a little bit. We have earned our lack of respect in
It's
the world.
well known. Yes.
Have you heard of our submarines? Anyway. So particularly at this age, this is where my brain went immediately. So 12 years old, your parents are getting divorced. You're roughly around the same age as me, which means all this is happening in the perfect miasma for sad boy new metal, all about parents breaking up and not paying enough attention to you. Did you go that way?
Corn, baby.
Fuck yeah.
Corn. Big corn boy. Or I guess corn ball would be the. Is
There
that
you go.
the term we're using?
accurate.
There we go. Now we got corn. Papa Roach was a big one. Stained is still my favorite horrible example of that because they have one song. I said it lost inside my head. Remember it. Literally in the same song, it's you don't pay enough attention to me, and also you're too hard on me. It's like what?
Right.
Which is it, bud?
Pick a lane.
Are they neglectful or? I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's the duality in all that music. You're both sad and sad the fact that you are so sad. And because you're sad, then you keep being sad. Like a lot of that stuff was just self-commiserating.
Honestly, as an adult, I'm legit a little bit annoyed about it.
Right.
That I was kind of sold sadness porn at the time I was most susceptible to it. I joke about it, but I don't know if you're aware of this. Cutting didn't exist until Linkin Park's first album dropped. That was when cutting started.
No way. I know you're lying, but people
I know,
will
but I
believe
also
you.
I know. Listen, dude, I
Can
fucking
we-
cut myself a little bit.
You
I
did.
wasn't going through that.
Can we bring
much.
up the cutting Wikipedia and look into this right
We
now?
absolutely
Sure.
can.
You do research on the show.
Self-harm and cutting began
Who invented
1996 with Life is Peachy.
Yes, we'll put that up as you. Well, I mean, did you? So you're getting into corn and stuff like that. I mean, what were?
Yeah.
How did that metastasize? Like, who were you? Did you become the corn kid? Did you try to go for the dreadlocks?
I think I just
Who-
happened
you
to
become a
be
punk?
involved in a group of friends that was what we were listening to, and I just fell into it. Mm-hmm. Because I also had my own taste outside of that a little bit. I got into like Michelle Branch somehow.
Oh, that's specific.
Yeah, Michelle Branch and Vanessa Carlton did it for me too. I listened to them a bunch.
Dude, I have such a weird. Again, this is so of the era. Vanessa Carlton did the 1,000 Miles song.
Yep.
So this is the era of like burning CDs and shit like that.
Hell yeah, dude.
I still cannot listen to the Vanessa Carlton song because when I first downloaded it on like LimeWire or Kazaa, it was slowed down by like 1.5%, and it's still the only version I like because I just got so used to hearing that. Just like, if I could walk. That fucking Tom Waits.
I like it. Yeah, that's always fun. That music. Sorry, I'm
if you
reading
guys-
self-harm.
Yeah, we have a
Reading
year
about
of origin there
self-harm.
yet.
Yeah, no,
If
not yet.
I'm gonna give you
And
guys.
can you at least make maybe like word search Linkin Park?
Here's history. Let's go into history here. Yeah. Cases, the ritual practice. I mean, many cultures and religions did this. That's what I was thinking. Obviously, we know some of the scarification and things like that.
Yeah.
But those aren't for the express written purposes of hurting yourself, but not suicidal, which is the difference there, which is technically under self-harm. But yeah, this goes back to, here we go. A prominent suffragette, Constance Layton, used a stint. She did a stint in Holloway Prison during the march in 1909.
No, that's supposed to be
mutilate her body.
1999. Come on.
Oh,
now.
I apologize.
We've all been there.
You know, the famous 90s suffragettes.
Yes. Her plan was to carve votes for women from her breast to her cheek. Oof, badass.
All right. I'm gonna throw this out there for you guys. I'm
Fake
not gonna,
news, whatever you're saying is fake
I'm not
news.
gonna lie to you. This is gross, but it's
Okay.
on topic. I wanted to bring this up before. How are you guys with like? Pretty much, there's somebody out there known for extreme self-harm, and it's kind
Aren't there
of.
a lot of people?
I'm not thrilled.
What?
Yeah, he's probably not. He's
I'm not
probably
going to be thrilled about looking at it. But
Yeah.
Then let's not do it. Perfect. Okay.
Cool. What was the?
Extreme self-harm.
Did you just want to see it?
I mean,
just
well,
to
no,
see
no.
it?
All right, just to give an idea, it first appeared on my radar on the website eFucked, which is
Okay.
like porn bloopers.
familiar with the
But
I'm not.
Oh, let's go back to the TV. No, it's a whole.
A lot of it's fun, but this was just to get into it. It's a girl who had like a Tumblr blog about cutting, and
Isn't that what every Tumblr blog is about? All right.
Yes, but this was honestly like fucking like her skin looked like a mummy. Like it's pretty fucking brutal. But like I said, we don't need to. But if you want to look it up and lose a chunk of your soul today, it's
nice.
A Coldness in My Heart. All one word, and I'll see you on the other side of that abyss. What was school like for you, John?
Yeah, I was talking about school recently because I realized that in high school I spent 2 years in like dumb kid classes that I shouldn't have been in. And
did some
didn't do anything about it.
Oh. You didn't have any problem? What were was this one of those things where you just didn't feel like doing homework, but you got put in those classes?
So I just like didn't think to advocate for myself or like speak up.
Right.
I was like, man, I'm like clearly the most adept person in all of my classes.
Right.
And I was telling someone about it, and they were like, yeah, you were probably in like classes with kids with like more needs than you, and you shouldn't have been there. And I was like, oh shit. And like I went from like being in like my school was tracked. So it was like honors, first, second, third. I was third track. And then my junior and senior of high school, I was like first honors AP. Jeez. And they were like, yeah, we're so sorry. You spent all that money on this Catholic school where we put you in the wrong classes.
Right. Did you have to do did they do them out in the trailer? Like all the Catholic schools?
No, I was never out in the trailer, but I took like this computer class that was very like.
Right. These are buttons.
Yeah.
Right. Connects to the internet. Don't worry about that. We're not going to get into what the internet is. We'll just go through this.
But that's kind of underachieving is my whole thing. So like it was like fit my personality. I guess.
Perfect.
Just didn't do anything. Didn't rise above it. It was just like, well, I have the best grades in all of my classes.
See, I remember in school, I was in like this was New Jersey, so there was like no fast track. They had like the smart kid class, which they would put you in for one period a day, and literally we just talked about whatever bullshit.
What do you mean it's you blame that on New Jersey? 100% New Jersey has AP classes.
No, but I'm saying,
dude,
but I'm saying this wasn't specific. It wasn't like smart kid science or smart kid math. It was like
you keep saying it was smart kids and not using AP, like
because I'm literally talking about middle school where this started. I'm talking about middle school where this started.
All right, just
where they just gave us a period a day to like just let those dorks fuck around or whatever.
Right.
And I was always in danger of getting kicked out because I was intelligent, but I didn't do any of my own because you know why? Because I knew in the future I'd meet a guy named Neil Too Good Wood, and I myself was too good for homework.
Right, of course.
Which, by the way, if you had that too good for homework, I think that'd sell pretty good in the summer months.
Yeah.
Just getting it back.
I'm gonna let you sit in all this.
I love it.
I think we should both sit.
I love it. I'll sit in that. I'll sit in the sweat.
I'll
sit in the gospel music.
Is this just gonna be about you
outside.
this whole time? You son of a bitch.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Go ahead.
But yeah, so
you got lost, didn't you? You got lost, didn't you?
I was drowning in the soup of it.
Well, I mean, we're getting a kind of an idea about who Deary was. I mean, because in terms of not trying, but you weren't not trying. Well, I guess you didn't advocate for yourself out of the gate, and then before you know it, you eventually were just like, oh no, I could be smart. I'm smart. I just wasn't trying, kind of.
Or I didn't realize that.
Right.
I was misplaced.
Right.
It's just like I didn't piece it together, and then my teachers did for me. They're like, this kid is able, and we just didn't realize that.
So if somebody had told you were a genius, you very well might have just adapted into that container.
Maybe not a genius, but definitely would have held myself to a higher standard, probably.
Would you say you were like a real passive kid, obviously?
Yeah,
then?
I'm so passive.
Okay.
That's my whole thing. I just coasting is like my whole lifestyle. Just coasting through.
Right.
Don't want to cause any problems. Don't want to ask for anything.
Right.
I'm saying all this and I'm realizing I'm in the same place as stand up right now.
Yeah. Well, I was going to even point out like that's kind of there are stand-ups who talk about this being someone who is, they are a different way on stage or have to be or express themselves differently on stage. But yeah, off stage, they're still the same person, because doing stand-up essentially isn't a passive act.
Yeah.
Right. It's not, it's definitely not that in general. So it's very interesting how you would even get there. But again, we'll get there. I'm wondering how you got, did you play music early on?
No.
Nothing.
It's talentless. Totally talentless. No, nothing.
no theater in your background. There was just no. I'm very surprised.
Nothing performative. I was actually very, very shy. I didn't do any kind of performance. Like getting into stand up in my 20s was a big surprise to a lot of people in my life. Because I was just like quiet. Like nobody even knew I was funny until social media, when I could be funny on social media. Like,
right.
Okay.
Spoke up. Yeah.
I was never the center of attention.
Gotcha.
It was very much out of my personality until comedy.
Yeah.
See, that also happens a lot due to your surroundings. Again, I feel like I'm making it about me, but it is just a story I'm thinking anyway.
Okay with that.
Yeah. But no, I had
Oops.
that one.
No, that's just Adam's toys, which I keep telling him to put away in his toy box.
Yeah.
And he never does.
Adam isn't going to get a treat this Sunday
dude,
on Nerds of Words because he didn't put this in his big boy. But this thing is hold together with
magnets.
like spit and prayers. What is this?
He does this all the
Very
time.
light magnets, it seems.
Yes, he's they are not very strong.
terrible.
Just leave it. Just leave it on the table.
But
No, okay.
I had the same reaction when I got into comedy. Actually, I had before I started hanging out with comedians, I hung out with a lot of like actors, Temple Film School, shit like that. And I'd run into people like away from that group at some point, and I talked to them. They're like, "Oh my god, I thought you were like so shy." Like, no, I hang out with actors, and I'm not gonna scream to get over their pathological need for attention. You know, that's just if you're around people like that, it's very easy. It's like I'm just gonna fucking calm down and let these guys do.
Sure, you got to
cartwheels or
take
whatever
a.
the
You
fuck
feel
they're
like you got
gonna
to
do.
take a back seat, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm wondering your friends group and stuff. Like, so you following with those kids who are also kind of into corn, but you made your own. You said you had some stuff outside of that. You weren't just like punk or anything like that. And I'm also, if I'm boxing you up, just let me know.
I've never really fallen into any kind of very specific group.
Gotcha.
Like I've always just been like a fringe person. I just like kind of mingle with different groups. Like my friends are like
Catholic schools aren't usually known for having space for fringe kids. Like, do you know, you went to a small Catholic school?
Yeah, small all boys Catholic
All
school.
boys Catholic school.
Sexy.
Yeah.
I'd say in an all boys environment, I feel like the cliques are a lot more looser and a lot more loose in general.
Oh, good. Okay, see, I don't
feel
know
like
that.
ultimately women are responsible for cliques. They're the reason that we form into groups to impress them.
Sure. I guess I don't. Yeah, I've only ever went to mixed Catholic schools, to boys and girl Catholic schools, but that might be. I never knew.
I've heard that on a lot of stuff of people just talking about. This happens with a lot of on like comic podcasts where they talk about becoming parents for the first time and being around kids, and they're like marveling. It's like, oh no, you see like this man and woman shit like right away. Like little girls grouping themselves together and being like, well, now all our favorite color is green and yours is red, so you can't hang out with us. And these are like 2-year-olds, and this is just like their natural instinct is like we need to find the scapegoat for the day who's not allowed to brush hair with us.
Yeah. So I mean, for a fringe kid, I mean, what, especially in a smaller Catholic school, because what, your class is probably the same as mine. So did you have like maybe 90 kids maybe in your class?
Oh, not
maybe
that small,
90.
no.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I'd say the school was 800ish, so maybe 200
all
in my
right.
class.
There's like 400 kids in my whole school, maybe.
Yeah,
So okay, but all right. So you're a little bigger.
One up me with the smallness, it's fine.
Yeah, no, you know what I mean, it's no big deal. Dude. It's just super tiny.
Big up
Got
on
a
the small.
micro peen school, dude. So is there any passive kid? Any romance? I mean, outside. Obviously, you're meeting these girls outside of school.
I had a steady girlfriend for 2 years of high school.
That's fucking impressive, kind of.
Yeah, thanks.
I didn't have.
I
Yeah.
was always curious with the single sex schools. Where do you even find these people?
The girl school
You know,
visits, right?
Oddly enough, people socialize outside of school.
No,
They make
crazy,
friends.
Jesse, right?
Witchcraft, I say. No.
Isn't that strange?
The strangest thing is people just find each other.
Yeah. It's not the movie Misery where like he goes home and they break his legs.
I never met kids
you were in
from
public,
other schools.
right? Yeah, you were in public, so you didn't have those problems.
It's so with Catholic schools, I feel like a lot of my friends went to Catholic schools, but like we're not limited to a certain area.
Right.
Like it's not like you have to go to this high school because it's the closest one. Like people went to high schools all over the
Sure,
city.
that's
the whole
right.
All my
point.
Catholic school friends went to different high. Like everyone I went to 8th grade with went to a bunch of different schools.
Gotcha.
So like we still like we kept each other, lived in the same neighborhood, kept in touch, and just,
Especially cities got to be very different from
we
where
make
I'm
new
from.
friends and
Yeah.
we meet each other's new friends from like
Yeah.
around the neighborhood. So like
Okay, the group's
it was
So coming around the neighborhood, how was your neighborhood like group? Like what was? I mean, were there friends out of the gate, like from the block and stuff? that
yeah,
you
it was a lot of
hung
my
with?
friends from the block who all went to different schools too. Like,
Of course.
not exactly all the same Catholic school, not even all Catholic schools. So, like,
Right.
you know, your friends, you all meet each other.
Any mischief you guys were getting up to younger? Any stories from when you were younger that of the neighborhood that were like kind of crazy or stand out to you?
You know, I was a really tame kid. Like, I didn't even really drink until college.
Gotcha.
I was pretty underwhelming.
Okay.
Stayed out of trouble. Everyone thought I was the asshole on my block though because I was loud and abrasive.
Which is different from how you seem to be perceived from your teachers. It seems like
Exactly,
you're,
yeah.
you're like
in my
quiet.
group, I could be. I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're being
Yeah.
like just real quiet at school, and then you're like Iggy Pop when you get home, just
Not, I
kicking
wouldn't go
fucking.
that far, but like
I know.
definitely less supervision. You find some trouble. You know, my dad was a pretty like.
So this is what I want to
Pretty
get
casual.
into, because I'm wondering as we get into more like, I mean, you're preteen to the nose. I'm like, how much supervision is guiding you?
That's the thing. I'm a lot on my own. My dad's pretty lenient, but also I'm not really finding trouble. Like I'm not drinking.
Really?
I'm not doing
Okay.
drugs. I'm keeping it pretty tame. Ironically enough, my sister, who has the more strict parent, would be the one that do all that stuff.
Okay.
So I don't know. I wonder if like that nature nurture thing,
Yeah.
like this is like a nurture thing. Where like, oh, the more strict you are, you're kind of pushing your children towards doing stuff.
Sure.
But if
Oh,
you
yeah.
give them options, like my dad was like, cool. My dad was like, yeah, if you want beer, you can have beer. And I was like, I don't need beer. Like, okay.
No,
Good
I
for you.
definitely saw that. Like the kids who were like the kids with the stricter parents. Aside from there was a few where the kids were just completely beaten the fuck down.
Sure.
And they were like the Flanders kids. They were afraid
Yeah.
of everything. But the more stricter ones, they were the ones who were like sneaking out, really getting into shit. My parents were pretty lenient. So like it was fun. Oh god, this is gonna sound very serial killery of me. Was I killed a dog. Anyway, no. I didn't drink much until I got out of high school.
Right.
But we would like set fires a lot. Not even to like destroy shit. We would shoplift like a thing of lighter fluid because it's fun.
Yeah.
And then you literally like right in the road on a hot summer night and you just fucking light it up. It's like anarchy symbol. This is where the revolution begins. That kind of shit.
Yeah.
So
Again, things you always say when you get in front of crowds, you need to tell them the kind of trash you're from.
Yes.
Because they need to understand. It makes so much of your life.
I told you
understood.
my persona only started working when I started mentioning like I come from garbage.
I know. I told you to do that.
And then it's like, oh, they understand me now.
Yeah. Because that is beautiful garbage. That is just things burn. We do it on the street. Like it's just that is just idiots staring.
The
at
other
burning
guitarist in my band, Stefan, we lit like his entire lower half on fire and then pushed him in the pool. It was so much fun.
A lot of backyard wrestling stuff. It sounds
Yeah.
like.
Oh yeah, we would have mosh pits on the front yard. Just two people.
No
people.
music. That we were really into it.
That's right. No, we were going. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
I like the idea of practicing for a mosh pit.
I do like that.
Guess what? It served me well. It served me well.
Yeah, I was always at the bottom of a mosh pit. I didn't take them too well.
Oh god. Let's see. This is still one of my favorite fucking memories. Me and my best friend in middle school was Matt Merziowski, and I was like the big fat kid, and he was the short, skinny kid. So it was a very Ren and Stimpy type thing.
Oh, I never had a big fat friend. For that.
You should have done it. It evens out in a certain thing.
Well, you were like the skinny little kid, right? You were pretty. I think I've seen like I think I had talked about this with someone. I can't remember. I think or I'd seen it in like old
remember
photos of John
there
Deere.
was,
He was like a tiny little guy.
Well, you
I was
were a guy.
tiny.
It came up. I remember in there was that Facebook 10-year challenge,
Right.
And you put up a photo where you look like fucking party boy in like a Speedo with a 6-pack and shit.
Hell yeah, dude. Thanks for remembering. I'm glad that stuck with you.
it affected me.
Well, I didn't know it was you. I honestly saw that. I was like,
It's
that's
framed
not
in my
Deere.
bathroom.
Yeah, I was like 120 pounds.
Yeah.
At 18. So.
That's why the Iggy Pop thing popped up. I was like, "Hey, dude, you were a little fucking threat." That's what I thought. But tame, but an ass kicker. I don't know, dude. You're a bunch of dualities, which makes sense. I mean, you're a fully formed person, but it's just kind of this like everyone thought I was an asshole in my block, but at the same time, none of the teachers know. Kind of, I'm still quiet.
Yeah, it was
So it's
quiet at
kind of
school.
that duality there. And that bubbling. I kind of feel like John Deere's just like a bubbling thing that the world won't experience until he hits the comedy scene.
Boy, did I come out the gate as a badass.
Well, that's what you're known as.
Yeah,
that's what you are
I
known
think
as.
that's the bad boy of comedy.
I think it showed.
Oh, you're into wrestling, aren't you?
I'm a wrestling nerd, yeah.
When did you first get into that?
Maybe like 6th or 7th grade. It was like the peak of the Austin Attitude Era.
Okay.
Okay.
And we want to
Whatever
know,
it is.
did you get into it because of your dad or someone in your family? Or was this completely
So
you?
I had an older cousin that was like very present in my life. And
Okay.
he was the most wrestling, metal, like he guided me towards all this stuff. So
Gotcha.
Nice.
he was like an older brother that
I love having those gatekeepers as a
Exactly.
kid that have the cool, like, you like this stupid shit, check this out.
Yeah.
Did not have those.
You know?
Yeah, no older
Neil?
guys.
Neil?
Yeah.
It shows.
I know. Yeah, it does. It does. There was only my older sister, sneaking cigarettes. And then my oldest sister is thinking it's like, well, I mean, we smoke cigarettes, we just don't do it in front of the kids. And that's pretty.
It's a shame you told me your sisters were into metal, because I could totally see you as like a 9-year-old and your teenage sisters like making you dance to Usher for her friends.
I mean, there was part of that too. My oldest sister was, metal, and then also, Tupac and Biggie and stuff were big. So I mean, it definitely got it from her friends and stuff. So, but anyway,
while we're talking about music,
sure.
And we got into Korn a little bit. Do you have anything you particularly listen to that really gets you? And this could be any kind of art, just whether movie or song. If you really feel the need to wallow, what's something that like cuts right through you?
Oh, to wallow. This is I have like a sad song playlist, but it's not from that. It's more from college than high school and being a younger boy.
Your sadness evolved.
Yeah.
It needed a new.
Yeah. Yeah, my sadness used to be.
Ask him the obvious question. What are some of those things on that playlist? Is there anything that stands out you could
See,
remember?
Neil, this is why you're the good podcast.
Yeah, you're very good at this.
Oh,
I'm not good at it.
I would love to know what's.
That's why he gets to sit in the big boy chair.
Yeah.
My college sad boy playlist is all over the place.
Yeah.
That's okay. Narrow it down. Like a Band of Horses, I feel like is very present on there. If you guys are familiar with Band of Horses,
I think I am. I can't remember. We've listened to a lot of. Jesse has exposed me.
Yeah.
He is my big brother, and then he is that older cousin who's been like, oh, you like suicidal black death metal, whatever the fuck it's called. You should watch it. Also, you should look into Scarification. There's a sweet video you want to check out. And he wonders why I'm doing
This ain't your daddy's cutting. Let me tell you that much.
I would just say just a bunch of Indian alternative rock.
He went
Nothing crazy, but,
I really thought you said Indian alternative rock for a second, and I was wondering, what am I missing?
Yeah, I thought of it.
There's a genre
That's
for
interesting,
everything.
though.
Well, we bring that up because we have a segment we do here every week. If you want to put on your headphones and hear this garbage,
if you don't, it's understandable because it's real bad.
There is a genre known as depressive suicidal black metal, and it is exactly it pretty much glorifies like death and suicide and shit like that.
It's very exclusive to this genre, I imagine.
Yes, and it's listen, we put on some of this stuff where some of it's like, okay, I can see what people are getting out of this. This is the lowest of the low. For one thing, this is on Vocaroo, which I believe is a Russian propaganda site. I've never heard of it before.
You mean Facebook?
I know.
2020.
I'm very excited for the listeners. I'm going to bring the listeners up, so they're going to be able to see you guys, just just in case if you're picking your nose or whatever. But they're going to see this website because I don't understand what's happening here. I've never seen
best
this.
website 2002 has to offer.
So here we go. Hopefully the codec is on. It's probably not. Let me make sure they have it on.
So, for example, this is bad enough that this does not have an artist or song title. I just found it in the place I always find these things.
How can we give these people our money, though? I want to give them their credit.
Go to reddit.com/r/DSBM and don't tell these dorks I'm making fun of them.
Oh, crap. I put it on the television. Sorry, we have multiple codecs. Here we go. That's the correct one. Here we are. I hope so, at least.
I can't hear it.
No, neither can I.
It's only a minute and 14 seconds long.
I know.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, there it is.
Oh.
I respect that in a genre of music.
Oh, boy.
I'm just like low.
This is done in a bedroom.
Yeah, this is just a guy sitting on his bed.
Yeah.
Guys, we could be listening to the new
Dealing with
Post.
something.
We could be listening to the next Post Malone right now. That's how he got started.
Vocaroo also.
Post I'm alone.
I can't wait to click on something else in this and just immediately get a virus. Like that is.
Okay, we could. Well, never mind. There's only like 4 seconds left.
Yeah, this isn't a song. This is just someone tuning a guitar and mumbling to themselves.
Oh, it's so good.
These are the songs I make, the sounds I make waking up every morning.
Wow.
That is perfect.
Yeah, so
That's a genre.
That is a genre.
It's not indicative. Usually a lot of it is very heavy, very lo-fi, but it's like slow and mournful. And this is just I'm making fun of a teenager for expressing himself right now.
Well, we need to. I think as a teenager, you should. I don't. To your point, and I wonder if you have any points on this, because Jesse pointed out kind of like he hated the idea of like, especially like Korn. Like those guys are in their late 20s when I'm experiencing their music. Really. right?
Right.
This is something that's bothered me too.
Right.
Like these bands that make music for children, essentially.
Yeah.
Right. That's what Jesse was kind of hitting on.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, why aren't there more people making fun? I mean, well, we know why, because you make money off the teenagers. That's really what it is.
Right.
Like, oh, I'm going to encapsulate it. I didn't realize how to encapsulate
It was
until
when
I'm-
rock and roll had finally taken the pop model of like
Right.
specifically going after these kids, but it's
But there's no one making fun of them. This is why I wish there was more music like making fun of teenagers at the time. I don't know. I would love to make that if that's a thing. Is there any music genres that fit that? Like specifically making fun of popular music? That are ska, probably,
Ska.
right? Yeah.
yeah. Well, actually, no, you know, because they actually like Real Big Fish. Like, it's not so bad being trendy. Everyone who looks
Right.
like me, well, they're more making fun of the popular kids.
Sure. But
a lot
metal,
of
out
stuff.
of all the places, should be the ones who are making fun of the fucking teenagers.
It's kind of hard to fit humor into metal.
I
There's
know.
like Tenacious D, and
Yeah.
that's barely even qualified.
That Adult Swim show did it really. What was that? Deathlock?
Oh, Death
Of
Block
course.
Metalocalypse. I
Of
love that
course.
show so much, and they fucking ended it without. Like, they ended it on a massive like. Their last episode was just an hour-long like rock opera, and it's literally my favorite album of the last 10 years.
That's really impressive.
And then they canceled it after that.
I know. I can't remember why, but it's very good. I love that show.
The Adult Swim guys are fucking assholes.
Yeah, you know. You think?
Yeah.
I don't think. I think it was just like you do that for anyway. Get it? But I think you do that for a while, and then those shows come and go and things like that. But I think they hit it. But I didn't. Anyway.
I feel like the Adult Swim crew are like trolls. They're like, what's the worst possible thing we can
okay.
make, and people would still fucking watch it. That's
Gotcha.
how I feel about some of their
Yeah.
content. Or like, you're just bothering people.
All right. What side of the spectrum are you on? And the spectrum is very telling here on like the Tim and Eric style humor.
It's hit or miss for me. Like my roommates are really big on
Right.
watching it, and like I'll sit down and watch a sketch and laugh, but I couldn't watch it for very long.
Yeah, I never.
I don't consider myself a fan.
So my nephews are, and you guys can tell me about this because I don't know anything about them. But it's a question, and also I think it's close. Is what's up with the Trailer Park Boys? Is that Tim and Eric?
No, that's more
very different.
That's a coherent show.
Yeah, I think.
okay.
Well, I think the weirdness that comes out of that is it's not exactly avant-garde. It's just it's so specific. It's like white trash Canadians. So that's why you're getting the very warped perspective on that,
you.
as opposed to. I mean, Tim and Eric feel kind of like to me the natural going back to high school. A movie I fucking hate and will always hate for my entire life
Donnie
is
Darko.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, right.
Because it was very much of that awkward, like, laugh, print T-shirts, and it's
Yeah.
like, and it would be one thing like, it's a movie I don't like. Like, well, imagine a movie you don't like, but then you're stuck around people for 4 years who quote the movie you fucking hate
Sure.
for about the entire
And
time.
I hated having to do the bits because I was so desperate for people to laugh at me.
you had to play the
100%
game.
was, dude. I was doing my 5. I had the impressions. I had them down.
And also,
so
like,
I-
a tall,
and
skinny
I would
kid
go
with
in-
fucking glasses. Did you do the dance?
Of course, dude.
The whole dance.
No, not that. There
Just
was
sit
a
down and
kid who
learn.
did the whole dance in the talent show. Mr. Wildcat. Mr. Wildcat was the name of it. We got a DVD of it. It's a
Wow.
fucking nightmare.
Let's bring him up.
Yeah, let's pull it on up. Yeah, I did have to do this. I was doing those bits. I was going and then I'd go like a true actress or actor. I would go and then cry after. Go into the bathroom and sob. You're fucking.
I just want to do Shakespeare. But
Just want to see Shakespeare.
Well, now you're an adult and you get to do the art you want
Yeah,
to do.
exactly. Still hack. Still mediocre. Where are we? So girlfriend, because we breezed over the
yeah, we
romantic
breezed
part
over.
of
I
it.
really want to get into like the teen heartbreak kind of shit,
Yeah.
like
Okay,
just
yeah.
pining and unrequited
I
love.
wonder who you were is also pretty complex. I'm wondering if you meet her obviously outside of school, so she doesn't know maybe the reserved or the quieter. Would you say that you were when you met her? Like, what do you think she was interested in you? Were you still like I'm a little fucking badass, dude. I'm an asshole, as you've self-proclaimed. Do you think
I
that?
don't know. I'm not sure what she said.
Were you? Let me put it this way. Then it sounds like you were surprised she liked you.
At first, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, you're
We
just
had
like, what?
a very tame. We didn't do anything together. Like, it's just,
I love this you're talking passivity, dude. Your book is gonna be John doing passive. Yeah, you didn't do anything.
literally our whole relationship was going to the movies,
Right.
going out to eat, renting movies and dry humping. Like that was like we never even had sex. That was like we were so passive. It was just like,
So aside from the end of that, that sounds like all my relationships. Just like, yeah, we eat, we watch movies. She's okay.
I was up to deviousness. I was up, yeah, because when you're like kicked real outside in like a smaller community, like that means that the fringes are much more dangerous. Like a lot of the time, like they are with hanging out with the cutters who are usually much more vulnerable to drinking in excess and
Just
and
being
acts of violence.
Just being at a more rural area makes it worse because it's not like urban. You're taking buses. It's you're doing the same bad shit, but you're doing it next to rusty farm equipment.
Yeah.
Tetanus is always a risk.
Always. That's why so I just watched Ma, the movie Ma, and yeah, immediately when you get to a town where there's nothing to do, it's like sure, teenagers immediately escalate to like drinking while driving because there's nowhere else to go.
I just remember one of my teen escapades. We blew up the trash can in front of 7-Eleven with a chlorine bomb. Chlorine bombs are fun. I wanted to make one this summer, but I didn't want to show up on any lists. It's been a while. This is pre 9/11. What a great world.
I'm sure dropping it on a podcast won't affect anything.
Get an empty 2-liter bottle, a puck of chlorine,
Please do
and
not
rubbing
do this.
alcohol.
I turned myself off.
I told you, I still have a scar on like the tip of my big toe from like a chunk that came off and hit me.
I get you.
Yikes.
Yeah.
We set off fireworks. I almost blew up my hand. I get you, dude.
Oh yeah.
I understand. We've all been there.
Did you ever do the thing where you set off
dare you.
fireworks like on yourself?
No.
No. I'm the only one who's had a firecracker in his ass crack.
I don't even think I did a firework in my hand, let alone.
No.
Where else can we put that?
Right. Well, okay. So first girlfriend in high school.
Yeah.
Well, while you were in high school, so pretty passive. Like, I'm trying a little dry humping, nothing serious. What was the breakup for then? Were you guys good together? Or
She was
fights?
she was a year older than me, and she went to college.
There it is. Did you didn't even try to make it work long distance or anything?
No, she was like, I'm older than you. I'm going to college.
All right.
She's like, I don't have time for boys in high school.
Goodbye, child.
I'm 9 months younger than you. It's
Just,
not,
honey, I just want someone I can see R-rated movies with. I don't count as a guardian. I'm sorry.
I needed someone to go to the poll, the vote with. All right.
Well, how did you handle that as like a passive person?
great.
No.
No.
Okay. Well, here's what we want.
It's actually pretty. Yeah, I know. So she was a year older than me. Also, my best friend was a year older than me. So they both kind of left at the same time. So like that was a weird adjustment. They'd be like, oh, I'm alone now.
But how did you handle it? I mean, did you? Yeah. I mean, what was that summer?
Also,
like?
being sad. I played a lot of video games. Filled the
Okay.
void with video games.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is that the medium of choice? What video games? Anything pop out?
I was big on RPGs at the time, so it
Gotcha.
was probably Final Fantasy 7, 9, 10.
There you go.
I could
Crush
never get into the RP. I've been going through like the old retro games, and I was trying to play like the original Final Fantasy, which I have a lot of. I honestly will go to bed and just put like on a long play for the soundtrack because it's very nostalgic for me. I can't get into the game. What is it about RPGs that like really get to you? It's a role playing game for.
I don't know, I was into the stories.
Okay.
I got invested in stories, and also just like it was like not a fast-paced gameplay, so like it's not stressful.
Okay. See, I also I feel like stories in game is something that's like really lost now because I didn't play RPGs, but I played like the survival horror. I played like Resident Evil, Silent Hill. I can still fucking dip into the fucking mythos of just that game. I loved the story in that, but I guess I just liked shitting my pants in the dark a little bit more. Because there's like shit in Silent Hill. There's a level where like you're in like a school and these little like ghost babies are wandering around and they make this squeaky noise. They don't even attack you. They can't hurt
Shut
you.
Immediately. Fuck, I'm out, dude. Ghost babies?
Not
Said ghost babies to me, dude. That's as bad as Couch Dad.
not a horror guy, so it's like no thanks.
Gotcha.
No, I don't need my Silent Hill. I did Resident Evil 4, which was like the more action guy.
Right,
one.
that one was fun, dude. The first time that fucking guy with the chainsaw and the bag on his head pops up,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, he's gonna come.
Silent. You said Silent Hill, right?
No, he said Resident Evil 4.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But that's the fun
Silent
thing
Hill
in that
skills
game
that.
because everything else is like, something bites at you and you fall down and says, oh, you died. And then the first time this chainsaw guy comes at you, like, he got me. And literally, like, cuts your still moving fucking head off.
Right. I'm loving it. I won't see. I'm just surprised. I'm not so. A little surprised. I'm surprised that John, you didn't. There was no aggression It sounds like you were like, I'm sad. My friends left and stuff. And if I was playing video games and things like that, but there was no aggression for you as a young man. It doesn't
When I was
sound
angry, it was always passive aggressive. It was always like snarky comments. It was never outwardly
getting
angry.
ready for comedy.
Did you ever get in a fight?
No, dude.
Not as an adult. No.
Oh, well, even as a kid.
Not really ever.
Yeah, dude.
I can't.
He's slipping under the radar all over the place. He is.
It's the right move.
He's out and about.
Yeah, under the radar. Never on anyone's radar.
Well, getting your head cut off with a chainsaw by a man with a bag on his head is a pretty traumatic thing to happen, Neil. I think you'd agree with me.
It is very traumatic.
John, we have a question we always ask everybody on this. It's a twofold question, but nobody ever answers the other one. What is the worst thing that's ever happened to you, and what's the worst thing you've ever done?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Uh,
The worst thing was my college girlfriend cheated on me with my best friend. That's pretty miserable. And that's a whole to-do.
That's a whole to do.
It's a whole to-do.
It's a real cluster.
Was this like a ditched you at a party for him?
No, it was
or-
like an extensive behind my back thing.
Fuck.
And
Can we get into? I mean, and
We
think
can
of your
absolutely
other
go into it.
answer.
I wasn't sure if I
Well,
should be ready
answer
to
the
answer
second
the
part.
next
Yeah,
question,
If
too.
there's anything. You,
the worst thing I've ever done, though, that's...
This podcast.
And this isn't me being like timid about like answering
you.
it. I'm
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
just
no.
like, I don't wonder what the worst thing I've ever done was.
yeah.
I'm really not sure.
I've been trying to think back. One thing that I when I was a kid, I guess, I don't know. I gave my nephew like a bunch of stitches at a young age because I would play this game with him in like kindergarten where I would make him run.
Well, for everybody else, Neil's nephew is like 6 months younger than him.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Don't
My sister
picture
gets-
him being like 18 and punching
Man.
a toddler
Yeah,
in the
plus,
tits.
no, yeah.
Cool uncle, right?
No, well, no.
Bullied by your nephew.
I was 100%. I was bullied, but he had ADHD and stuff from a young age, so he was amped and intimidated. It was like a tiny what is the what was the character that Mark Wahlberg played? That one.
Dirk Diggler.
That exactly. He played that. Anyway, but he was a little ball of fury. But the one thing I would get on him is we'd play bull, and I would try to pull a blanket away. And one time I did it against a wall and it cracked his head. And I knew I distinctly remember doing it. It was like, he won't actually run at me. And he completely just lowered his head and ran full, and I pulled it and I was like, he asked for it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I remember regretting and being like, even that little, and just being like, I probably shouldn't have done that. And he's just bleeding and crying all over the place.
Like, this always worked out better for the Wile E. Coyote. It didn't look quite this bad.
The worst thing I ever done? Probably not. But I've definitely caused harm to that poor young kid in a couple ways. I am known as the guy who dropped a brick on his head by accident. That one's by accident. Come find me. Can't find evidence that it was on purpose. You will not find it. But so there's a couple things. I wasn't sure if there was any direct harm or if there's also just shitty things you may have done with friends and stuff. I don't know. You don't seem like someone who's ever been you've ever cheated on anyone. Obviously, I think you're too.
Assuming a lot.
Well, I mean, you say asshole, but I haven't seen any ways in which you're an asshole. I think it's maybe passive aggressiveness or whatever, but
Maybe judgmental, abrasive.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, I still have that. I have very much a chip on my shoulder. I need to fucking get over. I mean, fuck it. I'll just say it. There was a period of time I didn't feel particularly good things towards you.
Oh yeah.
And then I later apologized to that when I realized I'm really projecting a lot of shit here.
Right.
Because I'm an idiot. And again,
Yeah, that was nice of you when you offered that. It was cool. You saw Make Up or Break Up, and then afterwards you're like, I was being a dick. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm the same way with people in comedy.
The show was so good. Well, honestly, no. You know where a lot of it comes from is I have a lot of class resentment still, and a lot of that did come from coming into the city doing comedy, and there's no way around it. There's a lot of people whose parents are paying their rent, and when you see them getting ahead based on that, it's kind of. But, after just, realizing not only were you a good dude, but you were actually working hard. This guy's more like me, and I'm putting.
And I pay my own rent.
Exactly.
You know
a man does.
The last time I lived at home with my mom, she made me pay rent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually, I was paying less to live in the city than with my mom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was pretty.
So you were making
Pretty
like
steep rent.
the good financial.
It's like it's close to the school. I grew
This is
up.
an up
I
and
grew up
coming
here, Mom.
neighborhood.
Yeah, it's close to the school I went to. I don't know why you're trying to pitch me on it.
I was like living with my mom. I was like, all right, you're charging me this for rent. I think
Washer,
you're making a lot of
dryer.
irresponsible financial choices around the house. Like we don't need this. You don't need to pay for HD cable. I don't think you need that. Maybe.
Oh shit!
If I'm contributing to that, I don't want to be contributing to that.
I love it,
It's
dude.
like trying to make her change the budget to accommodate
she's making you
the
pay
stupid
like.
rent she's making me pay.
Well, I've looked at the rents. I mean, damn, you looked at Center City. I don't see why this isn't right.
Like her suburban Philly house is gentrifying, like gentrifying neighborhood, and she's charging me like $400 a month to live with her.
Love it. Your mom seems like a cool
Oh,
person.
so I want to. Yeah, what happened with the best friend and the girl?
Yeah. So in college, I met my best friend and my girlfriend my first year. Started dating her towards the end of the year. Met him like halfway through the year. I went on to live with him 3 years in a row. And the third year, I guess they hit it off behind my back and were sneaking around for a while. Most of it happened over the summer, and we weren't living together anymore. Like it was like the semester ended, and I found out after 8 months, which is so long.
Yeah,
It's so long. And I remember asking her, I was like, why did you sneak around? Like, just break up with me. Like, wouldn't that have been easier to just break up with me than do this for 8 months? And she's like, procrastinated. I'm like, oh yeah, that'll do it.
I mean, like,
clean the bathroom, break up with John.
because honestly, I love the idea of not putting it in. Like that's you say it's procrastination when you take all emotion out of it, right? Because that doesn't subscribe to actual like emotional responsibility of what it is when you're cheating on someone, of actually having the gall and having confidence to go up to someone and say, I am going out with someone else like that. She's like, I just couldn't get around to it. You know what I mean? I had laundry. It's
I
like,
got a lot going on this week.
you
Got
know
a
what
big
I mean?
test coming
My aunt
up.
might have cancer, so it's like a whole
Finals.
thing.
Also, really eating up on my schedule. All that cheating I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's I got
Seems
this
like
big
a lot more trouble than it's worth. And there were like a few times where I kind of like
Suspected?
caught on to things and was like asking questions and like suspicious, and it was just like totally gaslit.
Oh, you're being crazy.
Yeah, it's
you're
like
being nuts right now.
That is one of the worst things when someone's cheating is like all those little things. It literally is like watching a movie. Like all the hints that were dropped and suddenly they just lock together.
Yeah.
Like, God damn it. I hate being fucking right, you know?
Any recourse from that? Or I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah, if you had something else to it too.
I want to say I'm not a dumb person. Like I'm pretty
Right.
observant. So like
Yeah.
she got by on just me being trusting.
Well,
So
that's what a
much. I was just
relationship
like-
is.
But yeah, she wouldn't. Like I'm not like jealous type. Like I was just like, yeah, they're just friends. They've just become better friends than I was with him. That's all
That's all it
that
is.
happens. We had grown apart as those 3 years went on. Like we had a strained relationship.
I'm sure.
But like also like, yeah, we definitely-
I'm sure you were.
things.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
like I think ultimately like there was maybe a little bit of spite where like as I grew apart from him, he like kind of like almost like maybe like reacted negatively this way where he like latched onto her in a way. I don't know, I
Okay.
can't possibly tell you what was going through his mind. I haven't spoken to him in a decade, but
I'm wondering when it's that close. When it's that close, like when your best friend is and you're is cheating on is having sex with your girlfriend. When that part happens, like, were there any signs like early on like that are burned into your brain? Because you're like, you clearly are saying up this stuff. Was there any like parties, even though you started distance, I guess, but before you were distant, was there like they've been in the back room for a while? It's kind of strange.
So I think right before it happened, he had broken up with his girlfriend of 2 years, and I'm not a good person to talk to about it. Like I'm pretty. I don't know.
he went for a shoulder to cry on.
and she was the shoulder, and I was like, well, she's probably much better at this
She's
than
a
I am.
sweetheart.
So I was like, yeah, I didn't think anything. I was like, she's comforting him, and he's going through a breakup. I'm not good at that. Like,
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's probably fine. Wow. Her hand is on his thigh.
Yeah.
Really? It's probably, if he needs
Yeah.
it, it's fine.
and also like, so we all lived together in our college town, but during the summer breaks, like
Right.
she and I lived an hour apart. They lived much closer. So like, there was like,
Fuck.
See, I don't really,
Any phone stuff over that? Well, you had to, I mean, was there, you had to be probably calling her over the summers, that means,
I
or
remember
visiting.
waking up in the middle of the night one night to her being on the phone with him.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, he was just called me crying because he's upset about his breakup. And I was like, all right. But I'm like a good sleeper. So I was like half, right back to sleep. But like the next day, like, what was that about?
Man, that pussy. He just
there was a time where I was with her at the doctor's office, and she was like, "Can you hold my purse while I go into the doctor?" And I was like, "Yeah, no problem." And she goes into the office, and then like 2 minutes pass, and she comes back out, and she just takes her phone out. And I wouldn't have
and a condom with your friend's name on it.
Well, that was another thing. I kept condoms at her house, and they kept disappearing.
Oh, no.
I was like, I could have sworn I left a bunch of condoms here.
John, fuck.
And she just like, you know how you misplace
Yeah, you're
things,
so
John.
forgetful.
I mean, this isn't,
There
we had a
lot
water
of
balloon fight 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's a whole.
I think one of the most infuriating things, though, is one time where I kind of did catch her in something, and we were at the library at school, and we're just at a table, and she's just bawling her eyes out, and I'm just sitting there mad, and just everyone walked by so judgmental of me. I was like, yeah, she's wrong. Everyone, she did this.
Right.
Like,
So when
just looking like the villain in the situation.
Oh, I'm
right
sure
now.
she didn't. Yeah, Jesse, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, she didn't break up with him in his face, right? Probably
Oh,
not.
It was,
no,
it was a turbulent. It was like even the breakup itself was like this up and down, months long.
right.
tumultuous
Yeah,
thing.
I was hoping it was going to be a clean cut, just
No,
kind of like.
I'm really bad at clean cuts.
Oh, I didn't even mean you. I figured
clean
eventually
cut's
those
not
two
good.
would just come in and be like, we've been cheating. Yeah, we've been having sex.
No, there was never a conversation. So literally,
Oh, dickheads.
what ended up happening was well, maybe this is the worst thing I've ever done. I started checking her email.
Yeah. No.
Vindicated.
See, I have
Vindicated.
Yes, I have said this. I feel like with marriage, I'm like, if you're someone who thinks someone is cheating on you and you're married,
Right.
Yeah.
I do not fault them if they're leaving their phone out while Lindsay, you know what I mean? Like, because cheating is it's a fucking deface of your confidence in them. But if you suspect something and they're leaving your phone out, dude, I think that's fair game.
Yeah.
I've never checked the phone. I would never do that.
Hey,
I'm much more upfront.
Even the police operate on the thing like if you leave the
Right.
door open.
I mean, we have just cause.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry, we are a nation built on laws, and we adhere to them.
I don't think I would ever check a partner's email or
Right.
again.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I don't think it was worth.
sure.
But yeah, I'd been suspicious for a point where I was like, well, I know all her shit. Like, I
Right.
know all her passwords. And I started checking, and I could see they were having correspondences.
Fuck.
And literally, when it all was spelled out for me, was an email where she was officially ending things with him, choosing me over him.
Okay.
And then his response is like sad boy response to
Oh,
that.
right.
But like, that's how I found out.
She thought she was out of the woods.
Yeah.
She thought she was.
Yeah.
She thought she was out.
And that's
pulled her back.
You must
in.
be having like such a weird emotional response in that moment because on the one hand you're furious, but it still hasn't sunk in yet. So you're reading this a little bit from your friend, and like, oh, poor buddy. Like, wait.
Well, what made me really mad was his like final line of like, if it's meant to be, you'll come back to me. And it's like, she's never yours. Like, the fuck? It just like ruin people's
don't get to do
relationships.
that.
Yeah, exactly. You're wrong.
You don't get to do the poetic. Well, if you love something, let it go. You've been taking the thing I love.
Yeah. Then also, oh god, that ruins like just so many of the rom-com things. Isn't it?
Right.
Like, you had me at hello. Who you talking to? Shut up.
Well, I found myself in the position a lot of times where I was like, wait, when you watch the rom-com and the girl's with the guy that doesn't appreciate her, I was like, oh
Right.
shit, am I that guy?
Right.
The shitty dude that like takes you for granted. And I was like, yeah, I probably am that guy.
Right.
I think I've been that guy in every relationship I've been in. But also, it sucks to be that guy.
Yeah.
Especially if he doesn't mean any harm. It just sucks at relationships.
Sure. But I mean, you learn from. I mean, yeah. And I've never gone through. I give the thing of like you went through emails, and as you said, you would never probably do it again because you're just like, we should break up.
not
I
worth it,
suspect.
yeah.
It's like this is stupid.
You got to allow a little bit of stuff for that. I had a breakup once where I literally like stalked the girl for a day.
That's
but,
not good.
But no, here's the reasoning. This is weird. It was actually like emotional cheating because this was a girl had like a very bad home life, and then I was like her out.
Jesse Tram. There's Jesse Tram pitching. He's dug himself a real hole here. Let's see how he gets out of it.
Jesse Dram, stalker. I had introduced her to my friend and his fiance. She got really close to the fiance in like the female fiance as like a big sister type. Started spending all her time with her, and that was like her emotional thing. There was a thing one day where it's like, hey, what are you up to today? She's like, oh, I have a thing at school. I'm doing whatever. Like, oh, okay. Well, I'll see you later. I go to hang out with my buddy, And after just saying she was busy, she comes driving by the other direction with the fucking fiance. Like, just fucking lied to me. And I tried calling her and she doesn't. So it's like, I can't get a hold of her. It's like, all right, listen, I know if she's with her, she's going to end up at this spot. So I just waited at that spot for 4 fucking hours in my car. But the whole point of it was I need to catch her in the act because I know I'll accept whatever bullshit excuse she gives me. Yeah. If I catch her in the act, I can have the necessary blow up to fucking end this.
Right.
And that's what happened. And, you know, fuck that girl.
Hey, did you do a relationship stakeout?
Yes.
Which I love because I get the picture of you like smoking a cigarette, like coffee from New York for no reason in Jersey.
In a bush with a camera, snapping all those pictures. Gives himself the envelope of pictures.
Yep. You're not far off.
You're in some of them.
The only thing you're missing is Tom Waits playing in the background. That's literally all of it. It was great. And it was, oh my God. And you know what I actually said? Because the fucked up thing was the friend I was going to hang out with was out with them. So I had all this time to think of what I was going to say, and I came up with a line.
Gotcha.
And that's when they pulled up all together, my best friend and his fiance and my girlfriend, who were all fucking ignoring me. And I get out of the car and I yelled, "You better be surprised. You better be planning a Jesse Dram surprise party."
Ooh, yeah.
That got him. Good.
Yeah, you really burned him on that one. We're like, ooh, brutal takedown.
But it's okay because then we broke up and I wasn't, and then she moved in with them, so that was my only friend at the time.
Perfect.
And then I started coming to Philly and hanging out with performers, and that's why I'm at the top of where I am today in a hot fucking 2-bedroom on a Saturday afternoon.
I know, but with good company.
With good company.
It's going fine.
Yeah.
It's going
all right. Well, I guess we can get into the last topic of the show, and that would be me knocking one of Adam's fucking toys off the microphone.
No, I do still have more fun stuff to talk about.
Hit me.
If I can,
Please.
Or we have a time frame?
No,
Am I like cutting
no, you're
off?
good. You're absolutely good.
I had a great story or experience in the cheating, in the midst of the cheating.
Yeah.
Or we actually, I guess, went on a double date with me and him.
No.
No, so we did a drive-in movie with a bunch of our friends, and it was in the midst of them cheating, and I didn't know about it. Also, a bunch of their friends knew. Like I was like, it was like
This is
it
the
was
most...
clearly like people choosing a side and be like, we'll keep this on the DL. It's not our problem.
That's so
So that's a
fucked up.
bummer. But we go to this drive-in movie. We saw Transformers 2 at a drive-in movie theater.
Yes.
To make it even worse.
Yeah. And so she and I are cozied up on a blanket, and there's like a big battle sequence where Optimus Prime gets killed, and then they have to like deal with that. And just at that moment, I could hear him sniffling and crying.
Jesus Christ.
And I turned, and obviously I don't know why. I don't, in reality, I'm like cucking him, and that's why he's sniffling and crying. I'm cucking my cuck, which is a fun thing to say. But I'm just like, holy shit, are you crying because Optimus Prime died? And just like started bullying him for like being upset about it. And everyone's like laughing, and he's just like kind of going with it because he can't tell me why he's really crying. But it was a lot of fun to be in that situation.
Some like cuckception
Cuckception.
kind of thing.
Jesus.
I love that.
Wow.
But I've been wanting to do that in stand up for so long, and I haven't like figured out how to go about telling that story.
Oh God, yeah. Those are always tricky. What do you got?
No, I just wanted the IMDb for Transformers too. I just because I love the idea of the guy playing off. Just, yeah, man, dude, it's got 6 out of 5 stars.
You brought up the plot to Transformers 2.
Fuck, dude.
Should I have done a
real-
spoiler
it's
warning
real
for the
barbaric.
death
No,
of Optimus
no,
Prime
it's good.
6 movies ago?
Oh, dude. I love that's probably unique. That's what I think cheating, if you guys agree with this, cheating probably presents some of the most unique situations. When people have cheating stories, that would have never you're bullying a guy who's cheating, who's fucking your girlfriend, possibly.
Crying because Optimus Prime died.
They present such unique scenarios.
Yeah.
For that, I mean, I say this. I was like, I've never cheated on anyone, nor do I know of me being cheated on. And a lot of people have said like, you probably have and not known. I was like, I don't know if I've ever been. I'm somebody who's like, when things start to change for me in a relationship, I'm pretty just out, like just
Right.
like this is weird, isn't it? This seems off, like, you know. And then I pretty much
if
just
I could say something
confront it.
personally, it's because I don't think you rely on people you get in relationships with.
Early on, dude, I was a real desperate little dude. But the people that we were running with were also like I was definitely dating inside of the friend group, if any of them, right?
Right.
Like my first girlfriend was like Lacey. We were running in the same Yes, her last name was Lacey. Her name was Lacey Peterson,
That's
not
right.
that Lacey Peterson. But it was.
I think it clarifies. Like we were already suspected it.
Yes, have to say that for everybody. It wasn't that one.
We broke up. I told her, I know you're going to find somebody who just appreciates you so much.
Yeah. But we were all like misanthropes, so there wasn't any chance of like that kind of thing of like cheating on. I think it was too close knit where anything was going on, you would have sniffed it out. And this was like 4th grade as well. Then I was just alone until.
You said 4th grade?
Yeah, Lacey, it was 4th grade. I was 4th grade, and then my first girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, first girlfriend, 4th grade. Saw boobs. We've talked about this.
Nice.
She was
4th grade.
4th grade.
Salt boobs.
Saw boobs. 4th grade, dude.
How old was the person who had boobs?
Lacey, yeah, she developed very young. she developed very young.
She was the nice girl in the neighborhood that was
Yes.
like willing to share her gifts.
Yes, it was very. I
Community-
come from
community
also
service.
trash.
4th grade boobs.
4th grade boobs. Very blessed young lady.
Yeah.
She had.
I don't know if that's blessed.
I know it's actually
sounds
a
like a
burden.
problem, yeah.
She was burdened. Really, I'm glad we could take them off her shoulders. But it was like one of those weird instances. We were all like little misanthropes. So she was. She said, "Oh, you guys seem sad." You know, like me and a buddy were just kind of like, punks and like into metal and sad.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, "Well, I'll show you my boobs if you want." And we were like, "This is the best system ever because we're gonna be sad every day." So this is yeah. So let's get this goth makeup on, and I could see my future panning out. And then I tried to date. She was like my first love. That was my first love. She
First
smoked
boobs.
Virginia Slims.
First love.
She smoked Virginia Slims. Yeah. It was pretty. But what I'm saying is like for cheating and stuff like that, they paint those weird instances of like you hear that. I didn't experience cheating until I knew that other people were being cheated on in high school when it was like everyone was fucking each other in the popular kid group or whatever.
Right.
And that was just all, it's like, oh shit, she's already getting off of him. She's going over there to that guy. She's dating her. They
See,
kissed at a party, some bullshit.
I
whatever.
only cheated once, and I found out afterwards I didn't actually cheat because
I think it doesn't count like that. I think does it count still?
Well, to me, totally, it was because I was still living with her, and it was
Right.
like, oh, I guess I cheated. Well, fuck. But then, like 6 months later, I was chatting with this girl, and she's like, "Oh yeah, when I made out with so and so." Like, wait, when the fuck was that? Like, right in this time. She's like, "We weren't officially together." Like, I guess I've kept my gold star and never cheated on
Right.
you.
Yeah. No, I mean, you never dated any, John, you never dated any girls who fit in the crazy category? I don't even want to say girls, but I mean just a crazy person. You never got any of the after the and also I want to know I do want to know your mental state after all this cheating stuff happened, and then I want to know like what were your thoughts after? I mean, where did you go from there? Let's start there actually.
Let's start there.
Yeah, where did you go from there? What
Honestly,
were your thoughts?
really bad, really angry, really depressed for I'd say 2 years of just in that really dark place. I dropped out of college. I went back 2 years later.
You serious? Well, you were in your third year, right?
I was in my 4th year.
Oh, fuck.
I dropped out of my senior semester of student teaching.
God damn it. That fucking
It
pisses
took me
me off.
2 years to go, almost 2 years to go back and finish.
Shit.
But I did finish. I did go
Yeah.
back and get my degree.
Good for you.
Not in teaching though.
Gotcha.
I didn't reflect well on the student teaching program at my school.
If you're thinking about magic, we're going to be studying today, of course, the letter A. Not the letter A. What is the? I fucked it up. Yeah, sorry, the scarlet letter. These bitches. Like you freak out. You're like, we don't talk about romance with Mr. Deary.
So let's discuss why the priest was the wronged one in this situation.
It's such a bummer. You can't be a teacher. Oh, okay. So you went back. What did you end up going to school for?
I have just an English degree. So I was
Cool.
secondary education English, so I was going to be an English teacher.
Gotcha.
Student teaching was a nightmare because of just dealing with that, and also
Right.
it's very difficult to be a
course.
teacher. I respect the teachers out there.
Yeah, definitely.
But I went back to just have an English degree. But 2 years of like just anger. It's like as far as like what's the worst thing you've ever done, it was probably some crazy shit I said to her in the midst of dealing with all that breakup.
Right.
I tried to like set up a murder plot at some point. I wasn't handling it great.
Yeah. It was a dark time.
I understand that
Yeah.
in the moment where you're literally just having like fucking just fantasies of just like
Oh, wow.
killing them.
And also, I do
Okay.
want to clarify, it wasn't a murder plot, but I definitely did plan to jump him.
Oh, all right. Well, that's a little different.
It was a murder rough
yeah.
draft.
Yeah, it was a murder.
You left the possibility for it.
Yeah,
You're like, I'll jump him. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I was like, I have brass knuckles. Just bring him to this place.
Right.
This is how you can make it. I was like, this is how you can make it up to me. Is bring him
Right.
to a place where I can hurt him. So it's not really. It's a really bad place.
Yeah.
And she was also like, she did this really shitty thing to me, but we still have a friendship. Like it's really. We've worked it out. I actually just went to Minneapolis a few weeks ago and stayed with her.
No.
Yeah.
Good. Wow. Holy shit.
So,
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, just 10 years.
Yeah.
Of like getting over it, getting past it.
Well, because I'm just imagining, hey, I haven't talked to you in forever. You know, that first who messaged you, and then you're like, yeah, you still fucking him or what? You know, you still lying about it or what's going on?
She would go on to do that exact sheet for months at a time to her next 2 long-term boyfriends.
Wow.
So I think she just doesn't know how to break up with people.
Not with him, with another guy. Probably.
No, she didn't go with him.
I was gonna say, this guy is.
She dated another guy for a few years.
Yeah, cheated on him with it. Yeah.
Cheated on him with someone in his friend group.
Fuck.
And then dated that guy. And then, I don't know if the next guy was in his friend
Dude,
group.
I gotta
but,
say, she's got the best plan Bs. Because it's always, she goes for A, oh, I'm so like you. And then you see the friend poke up, yo, what's going on, John? How you doing? And she's like, well, fuck it. I'm done.
They always say have a new job lined up before you leave your job.
Really?
So,
I mean,
it's
that's-
definitely
Good for her.
That's just dating
good
smart.
for her.
Yeah. Holy shit. That is a nightmare.
But yeah, I just
But
had
you
a-
guys reconnected.
I mean,
Kind of.
there was, I'd say we didn't talk for a long, long time, or it was like very minimal interaction. But, we've been really close for all through college. Like, there's an intimacy there. There's a friendship there that it's hard to replicate.
Of course.
So like,
Yeah,
there
of
was a
course.
dependence. Also, she ended up moving out to Minneapolis,
Right.
Minnesota, and just kind of like a lot of phone time when she just like,
Right.
needs a contact. and
Oh, gotcha. You go out there, you meet someone she's with, you fuck him.
Right.
Payback! Payback is happening. No,
Yeah.
just out of spite. No, but that's good. I mean, I realized early on I had definitely the last serious relationship. Well, let's see, I was in college, like that one, like in college, was very, very like professional breakup. It was, we knew it was coming. You know what I mean? We both wrote out our resumes before for the next person. We were, she moved 2 hours away, and just on the phone one day, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll be coming to you. I'm gonna be leaving soon." And she's like, "You don't have to."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, I was just like nodding. Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Wood, I've enjoyed your business, but
Yes.
I'd like to unsubscribe from your
I would
services.
like to unsubscribe if that would be fine.
Every breakup is so much easier in retrospect now that like you deal with this situation. It's
Sure.
like, I can just tell someone I'm over it.
Yeah,
It's not hard.
See, oh god, my big ex that I dated for many, many years on and off, she and I always broke up the same way, which was she would demand way too much of me. I would continue to go along with it. Then one day I'd put my foot down and be like, listen, we need to talk about this a little bit. Like, you're asking a lot from me. And then she'd go, well, why don't we just break up then? It's like, okay. No, I'm, babe, I'm at the end of my rope. This isn't the time to double down. Well, let's just break up then. Like, but okay. I guess we'll get back together in a month or two.
She's not gonna fucking hold out for your bluff. She's gonna call you. She's gonna double down on it. Yeah.
Right, and then she's gonna go fucking immediately start dating a guy in a wheelchair. That's, yeah.
Well, she was also at times.
Yeah, that
Don't get
was-
into this. We've talked about it enough.
Again, unique breakup details.
Sure. And don't see that as lesser end because those people are also just people.
No, it's not.
Yeah, why does
The
he have to
way
be in a
you
wheelchair?
say things, you forget about the way you
That's
say
my
things.
thought. Why does? Well, no. For me, it was very much like it was the friend thing. Like, oh, this guy's been around for like months. It's like, oh, hey, buddy, how you doing? Nice to meet you. And then we break up, and 3 days later, they're dating. Like, oh, maybe there was more happening in the background here. So
Sure.
it wasn't cheating, but it felt like cheating.
No, and I just want to make it known for people watching and listening that when he says, "Oh, for a guy in a wheelchair," part of it is to get a rise. It's a little bit of a rise. I'll be honest.
Yeah, like a girl I dated after dating me dated a heroin addict. He just said a guy in a wheelchair like it was the same thing.
Right. Exactly.
Literally the same thing. Bad people.
Like clearly a downgrade.
Yeah.
Yes. No, but but you're saying is there was always that person like in the wings for her that she would go to.
Yeah, and I
And
didn't
then
like
you'd
that.
be like,
I don't.
what the fuck?
I don't like that with girls who have like a big group of friends because it's like I'm meeting all these guys, but it's like you're meeting the people in the fucking batter's circle. Like I don't like that.
Yeah, and that happened too many times where like I mean, imagine.
batter circle.
Yeah. Because you imagine that happening to him is a little different because you obviously were just cheated on. Whereas he like, he was breaking up and then all of a sudden she's with someone else and then they get back together and then he'd meet another friend and he'd be like, all right, man, if I break up with her, don't date her.
Hey, well, no, that's the bad thing. I'm like, no, I'm totally cool with you having friends, despite the fact that you're going to be sucking their dick before my foot's even out the door.
It is definitely a different scenario. I would never put up with that kind of thing. And it took you a very long time to finally be
Hey,
like,
I only put up with it for 8 years.
8 years. What is that?
I didn't
It's
make it
nothing.
10. That's what's important.
That's so after that. So what did you learn after the 2 years? You're getting out of that, out of this emotional trauma. I mean, what were some pros that you learned? What are some cons? I can imagine the next relationship you get into to be a little, you might have been on guard.
I corrected majorly. I dated a virgin after that. She wouldn't have sex with me.
What?
Fuck yeah.
No, I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
Neither did she. All right. Very stupid. I'm a dumb
never
person. That's stupid. No, but I mean, so, okay, I'd imagine you didn't that wasn't in the dating profile or anything. You weren't just looking for virgins.
Looking for untouched women.
Oh, wait, or is that what you kind of were?
No. So,
No. Okay.
although, I joined OkCupid not long after that, probably too soon after that because I didn't know what I was doing. And maybe I did come off angry or passive aggressive in my OkCupid profile. Because I remember getting a message where this girl was just like,
what's wrong?
where she was just like, just to let you know, your profile reads like you're going to fucking kill somebody. She's like, you're going to murder someone. And I think that's a problem. You should work on yourself. And just as a stranger, and it made me really angry to get that message at first. And I can't think what was in it. That was but clearly a bitter dude that is not ready to date kind of profile. Yeah. And it just made me kind of take a look at myself.
Right.
So I was like,
it wasn't
I don't want to be this person.
Yeah.
I was angry for a really long time. And then, so I moved back to Philadelphia. And I reignited friendships I hadn't had with years because I've been away at college. Mm-hmm. It's reignited friendships with all my friends from high school and all these different groups of friends and just kind of gave me a new lease. Gotcha.
Yeah, you go back to what you know, and then you meet steady people, and then you just start meeting people. And you get comfortable then just meeting people again and talking, and then before you know it, you might meet someone.
It pulled me out of a depression. It pulled me out of being very bitter and angry. It just took a really long time, unfortunately. It really was a 2-year process of just being mad and alone all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
It sucks.
I had those on the OkCupid too, where you get into it just being my partner should be not some bitch ass like Michelle, so never quite like that, but there was definitely you'd go in there, restart it, and immediately address this is why the last one didn't work out. No more of these, please.
I'm gonna make sure the air's on because I don't know what's happening here, but I was wondering because we talked about getting into it with a virgin. That's got to be. So you realize you met her, she was a virgin. You were like, all right, that's cool. But I mean, how did that? Did you felt safe? I guess because you're cool.
It just felt like the least complicated relationship, where I was just all right, this is very easy. She doesn't have expectations because she's never dated anyone seriously. It was just very. It was low stakes. That's what I needed ultimately. I think I was this is something that is a great readjustment because I don't. There's no expectations. There's no pressure.
Did you end up having sex?
We never had sex.
How long did it last? Because again, with virgin, this can last a while. It's a whole different timetable.
It was 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
And it really wasn't bad. So she was Christian. She went to a Christian school.
I was gonna ask what kind of virgin, whether it was gonna be just Christian or weirded out by it, or
yeah, super Christian parents. She was pretty committed to it, but also she was dealing with some shit too, because she's raised this super Christian household and went to a Christian college even, and was clearly struggling with her sexuality, where she was I'm bisexual and I just can't be that.
Oh shit!
And so up top, she's like, hey, look, I'm a virgin, but I don't think I'm saving myself for marriage. I just haven't really been with anyone seriously, and I don't want to just have sex to have sex. I want to be in a serious relationship. So all right, cool, that's fine, yeah. Then there was one night where it got really heated when I stayed over, and she was like, "Fuck me." She was like, "Let's fuck right now," and I was like, "I do not have a condom."
Right.
And she was like, "You don't have a condom?" I was like, "You've never had sex."
Right.
I didn't plan for this.
Right.
And then I carelessly said, "I didn't think it would happen, or I didn't think it would be this easy." And then she changed her mind.
Right, yeah. Oh, she changed her mind? No. What?
From my one virgin experience, it was very much like you got to be ready because you're never going to expect it when it's coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I would have rejected her.
Yeah.
I never, in my experience, it's those moments, and I go like, no, you're not. No, we're not.
Yeah.
We're not, because you're not thinking, and I don't, I would immediately be like, you sure you're like, I did all this. Like, I would never believe them. Hashtag believe all women. What was that, Tusty?
Yeah.
What happened? No, what was that, Tessie? It'll play out. Never mind. But no, I didn't. I've definitely been in that scenario and been like, no, we're not doing this because that's a bad idea. You're hot. You're bothered. It's never a good idea because
very generous of you.
Yeah, they want it to be special. I'm not a good guy. I just
I'd
know
do
that
in
how
scenario.
if I've been an impulsive person. I just know that like if I care about someone enough, I know that's like this is just impulsive. We can always do this later. Right, like there's never.
I'm a sucker for novelty. Just like being the first. I mean,
She doesn't know I'm bad at it.
Yeah.
Jeez, I never liked any. I mean, I'm not dissing virgins here, but I quickly, in terms of the 2 or 3 times dealing with virgins early on, I definitely was like, well, I was a virgin once. I get this. It'd be fine, but I always felt it was too. I was always super worried. I would, emotionally afterwards, I would always be very worried about their needs, especially if they, in those instances, like very much like what Deere's describing. If she wants it to be special, sort of, I mean, doesn't want to be with anybody, and you were with her, and that's good. But I've had instances like I'm a virgin, and in that brief moment, it's like, well, we should just do it with you. Like I know you. I think kind of, you know what I mean? Like you kind of know them, you're friends, but like I was like, I don't think it should be me. Like I think it should be with someone you really want it to be. It shouldn't just be, let's get this out of the way.
I don't know. I do think it's played up a bit too much, and it should just kind of be getting it out of the way.
It doesn't matter.
I do agree with that.
I think it's meaningless.
Yeah. Like I had a friend, she was a virgin until she was 25.
Right. And
it's just, she was just too fucking hung up on it. And then, it was just time to get it done. But
I know, but it seems so cold and calculated. It seems just like, well, it's time. Bring it in.
Yep.
Bring in the dick.
And also, meaningless sex and bad sex and sex with people you don't give a shit about puts in perspective how good sex is.
Sure.
Yes.
That's very well put. Yeah. I don't know. I was always just so brazen to be the first. I was always brazen. I was just like, I don't want to be your first. It's not. And I'm like a very tame, like, not someone who's going to be like, all right, bend over, get into this. Like, never my mentality. I just don't want it to be your first. Because
it was so weird for me because I am very much a romantic, even as like a young teenager and shit like that.
Right. You always brought roses everywhere you went. That's a very big thing about Jesse Drave. You didn't know.
There was actually roses here in the studio with us.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
But and I ended up losing my virginity to a girl I wasn't even attracted to, let alone
that's
liked.
bad.
Yeah,
that's not good. That's not good at all.
After my first girlfriend, who I never had sex with, I was like, oh man, this is like, it's a bummer. My relationship never had sex.
So wait a second. You weren't having sex with her? The college girlfriend?
My high school girlfriend. My 2-year
okay.
high school girlfriend. No,
Gotcha.
I never had sex.
Gotcha.
And then dating after that, I just randomly had sex with a coworker.
Oh.
It was just, and I remember her. I'll never forget this. It's just, she's like, I was on the fence, and now I know I'm a lesbian. That was my first sex.
Yeah, I've been there.
Jesse's been.
That wasn't the first. I've dated a lot of my very first girlfriend, Ashley Welsh. What up? Total lesbian, and even at the time, it was kind of obvious that's where she was going.
Total lesbian.
Total.
What a great phrase.
Yep.
She was the whole package.
100%.
Whole package of a lesbian.
And even as recent, like a few years ago, I was dating a bisexual girl, and we dated for like 3 months. And Christmas was coming up, and she was going to meet my family. And then literally just got a call one day, like, "Hey, remember how I was bisexual? I was half right." And that was the end of old Angie.
That would be my progression. I think that's a progression that has to be tough, and it's got to be tough dating out there with that progression. Because some people are just like, nope, I'm gay, or I'm queer, I'm this.
The other thing that threw me off.
That progression sounds right.
Right.
Yeah.
Where you're
absolutely.
like, maybe.
The other weird thing is that, and I didn't realize going into this, she was like very, very high functioning autistic, which I didn't.
Good for her.
Which I didn't know going in. I just thought like, oh, she's a little off. She doesn't really do eye contact much. So I couldn't pick up on the idiosyncrasies of like not really into this.
Gotcha. Because social awkwardness, when you're on the spectrum of high functioning like that, it could just be. We also mistake that just for social awkwardness. We don't know the depth of it. Yeah, we know now that social awkwardness is very different. Then that's a symptom of it, rather than just it by itself. So, okay, so that's got to be tough. Yeah.
All right, so let's get into the end here. However, we have a bit of a bridge in between because we've been talking a lot about sex and we're getting into death. We have a video that's popped up, which, despite telling you I saw it on a much more popular show, this video only has like 1,000 views. If you want to see it on YouTube, it is under the title "Kiss My Pussy." The video itself is pretty sad. This is a woman clearly in hospice who is very, very old, but she has some things she wants to do before she gets out.
Yes, I'm gonna come up here.
So again, the video is sad, but I mean, this is still pretty funny.
Right.
You want to kiss her? Do what? Kiss my pussy?
Why you want me to kiss your pussy?
Because I love it. You love it.
Me love it? Have I ever kissed your pussy before?
Yes.
No, I have never.
Can we stop? I don't like the lady who's offering things up. She's in this video. What you will find is the older lady is driven to one thing.
Yes,
it's very specific. She knows what she wants. For some reason, the
dying wish.
Yeah, the home health aide is for some reason provoking more questions. She's like, did I kiss your pussy?
Yeah.
And she's like, yes, you have kissed my pussy. Why even say that?
I mean, she also busted out the phone. She knew what she wanted.
Yes.
Yeah.
She wanted this.
Clearly know.
Like this is, well, I could see the attendant videotaping this just for the family, just to let her know, like, listen, she's out. Yo, listen, this bitch is saying some wild shit. You need to know.
You think
it's the
family would want this?
But you don't want her saying to the family, like, listen, if you're taking care of an old person, they're like, you've eaten my pussy a bunch before, right?
Imagining the family watching this with like the will reading.
It's just grandma's be wilding out is like the video. Yeah, like why do you think it's never mind? It's like, I just want like I thought you were gonna say like she's videoed, so if she says anything crazy, like I have proof, like I'm not doing this, like that she's been saying this stuff all the time.
Right.
We tried to dissuade her from it. I'm very sorry. But you're just like the family's probably watching this together. And they're probably know, oh yeah, she says that to all the kids. Yeah. She's been telling the kids to kiss her pussy for a long time now.
Dying as she lived.
Yeah. All right, let's
Thank you.
No, and I would never do that.
No.
No, that's nasty.
No, that's not.
What do you
That's
mean that's not?
wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Oh, you
kiss
just
her.
me to kiss your pussy?
Yeah.
That's why you're groaning? You horny?
Yeah.
You want to have sex?
Why is she goading her? Sorry, I'll keep going.
But an old woman like you should be looking to your God.
Why is she like shaming her for wanting sex?
Yeah.
She's shaming an old lady. Like, I mean, this Jamaican nanny is rude. Like this is. I don't understand why she's shaming her. She's also pretending like the stereotype of elderly care isn't that they're all fucking. That's the stereotype of like. I mean, right? You send your grandma away, like STDs are rampant in those communities because they don't give a fuck anymore. They're dying. They're not putting on condoms.
No, they're all about it.
And then she's like, "Why? You should be looking towards your God."
Jesus.
I am old and dying. Kiss my fucking pussy.
But I have to have sex too.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, let me see your pussy.
Nice.
You want to see my
Forward.
pussy? No, I don't
I like that she's a
expose myself
progressive
to you.
older woman.
Yep.
You know, she's not. I'll fall down with anybody. See that pussy?
Let's get this going. Take your pussy. I'll take my pussy. You take your pussy out, dude.
Just be a bunch of pussies out in the breeze.
Yeah. Yes, I do want a juice box. Get a juice box in here. My Jello was not represented last time.
Why?
No.
Oh.
She's trying to set the mood with the music in the background.
I'm not your boyfriend.
Oh, was that the TV in the room?
Yeah, that's the
I was like,
TV
no,
there.
that's not the porno soundtrack leading to what comes.
Also, when
next.
she says something about your boyfriend, I'm waiting for her to be like, small-minded conservative. Like, what do you think? I need just men? Ugh.
I love the video. It's just called "Kiss My Pussy."
Nice. That's not place.
They don't realize they're gonna have a lot of competition
Turn
when
your
people go to
eyes
Google
to
that.
Jesus.
Turn your
Oh,
eyes.
Oh. She looks up. Kiss my pussy, Jesus.
Yes.
Stop that.
My God.
my
Ask
pussy,
God,
Jesus.
ask Jesus Christ to save your soul.
Yes, save my soul, Jesus. But just kiss my pussy. Put your tongue in my pussy.
Yeah.
Honestly,
That's good.
one of the hottest things that I've seen.
Listen, there's contrition, and then there's like, you know.
What else is in this video? Is it
I don't know what else there is beyond this.
does it go past that?
I
All right,
think
well,
it-
listen
that-
to a
this
little-
is
I
this is
didn't-
as far as I've heard.
I don't think it was gonna get better than
Lick my
kiss.
pussy.
Yeah. Put your tongue in my pussy, Jesus. I didn't think it was gonna get much better than that. Which we know Jesus is a giver, and he would do that. For us.
Exactly.
So,
Yes, Jesus.
obviously.
The poor will be with you always.
Yes.
But I'm here to kiss pussy, but a brief
The
time.
me- yeah,
Good
the-
for her. Good for them.
I know, right?
Good content.
Get some.
I would be really. I really hope that's kind of how she always was. Like just grandma, just out getting it.
Yeah, of course. Like, I mean, it's just one of those. I mean, my grandmother was never that. But I mean, I feel like if you were just, you know, you're getting older, you're probably, you know, maybe you're not as lucid. Maybe
No.
you get into some pussy talk before you know it. You know,
Yeah.
you're like, yo, why is my pussy not being kissed right now?
I remember my high school graduation. I wandered into the kitchen where all the old people were, like my great aunts and my grandmother, and they were drunk and they were just like talking about sex. I found out like my husband wasn't circumcised; it always worked fine.
Weird nushes and gonads, whatever the fuck your elderly are called.
Goons and
goon jobs,
blubjees.
snoo jobs, whatever the gushy nushes, whatever the fuck they are.
John, so what's your first experience with death there? Have you not had a whole lot of it?
I'm pretty. I've had it easy. Grandparents,
good.
an uncle, an aunt here and there.
Sure.
I mean, it sucks. I've seen like how it affects the rest of the family, but it's never been like immediate enough that it's been like something that's very personally affected me. It's
Gotcha.
been cake.
Yeah,
I feel like a jerk.
surprise from the neighborhood. I mean, Northeast, I guess is. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. There was no drug
But
problems. Or
I know
dying,
people who
you know?
have died, but I've
Right.
never. It was never anyone particularly close. to me. I've been
Gotcha.
fortunate.
That's good.
you know?
That's a spectacular.
Yeah, so that means I'm due soon. People are gonna start
Well,
dropping
Yeah.
soon.
Dude, let's hope not. Let's hope
Yeah.
When
not.
it rains, it pours.
Yeah. What? I mean, we've asked multiple questions about death on here. I'm wondering. I mean, what is there anything you would want your last words to be when you
My
go?
last words.
Yeah.
To be,
Will they be comedic or will you be serious? I'm wondering.
I don't think I'd be too serious.
Right.
I mean, right now, like if I go on, you know, it's gonna be sudden, and I'm not gonna get to say anything cool.
Sure.
Just don't have my fucking funeral, and I don't want a church service. I don't want that
Yeah.
shit. I hate those. They're meaningless. They're impersonal. I want
Yeah.
a cool, something cool. Have a party.
Yeah.
Do a roast. I think
Right.
a roast would be like roast
Nice.
family, friends. Have a fucking good time with it. Don't
Do,
be
do,
a
do
bummer
a
about
roast
it.
while they literally
Yeah.
push you into the oven.
Everyone has permission to make fun of my death on social media. I
Nice.
think that would be fair. You know.
Just
I
add
like
him
that.
at O'Deary.
Yeah, at O'Deary. Especially if I die in like a cool way or a funny way, like definitely embrace it, you know.
I mean, yeah, well, it's going to be, you know, probably plotting murders of people that have cheated. Or guys, like, hey, I want to go kill that guy, but didn't make it.
So you guys have talked about this a bunch. You have cool death phrases or last words.
We usually like to have like a nice little moment of like everything we talked about, and if there's anything that distills down to what you would after, you know, like everything you've told us and stuff, it's like kind of paints a picture of like what you would want to communicate to. Mine would easily be like, young comics, you don't have to do the full time. just as a note, just to give a note out. It's just like this.
Just as my spirit
Yeah.
enters the cosmos,
Yeah.
give your time back to the room.
Hosting a mic, I got into the habit of that because people would always be like, "How much time is left?" You just get down when you're not having
Yep.
fun. Just
Yeah.
get down.
Just do it.
It'll help everyone.
Yep.
We all want to go home.
Joking wise, but yeah, I mean, it's what we go through here. Like, I like, or your dad, you know, like your last words would be just like, you can, maybe I'd be able to stay on Earth if the electric bill was paid. just get him. You know what I mean? Just a good
Yeah.
jab. But
No, I'm that bit. Like
I get you.
I've
I know.
worried a little earlier
Yeah.
that my dad looked bad. We're fine.
I
You
know.
know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty forgiving. I get it.
It's a joke.
I couldn't be a dad.
Sure. Yeah. That's yeah. So you don't consider yourself ever having kids, maybe down the road?
Right now, it's not even on the radar. at all,
Gotcha.
you know.
Okay.
I'd like my friend. I saw so many people have kids. So many of my friends had kids this year. And
Sure.
I'm just like holding a baby, and it's a burden. I'm just like, can I just take the picture and take your baby back?
Right.
I don't need anything else out of this. Like I feel nothing when I hold a baby, and I feel like I'm at an age where I'm supposed to.
No, I 100%.
I'd like to do like the Coca-Cola challenge on that. Like just put a fucking blindfold on and just like have a ham in one arm and a child, and like I feel nothing.
I got nothing on
Well,
that.
this thing is breathing and moving, so it's probably just alive.
Sedate it first. We gotta
sedate the baby.
You gotta use a control here.
Is there any place you think we go after we die? Is there a place you hope that we go? Do you think there's a?
I think existing forever seems like a lot.
Right.
That's what you just. So you exist in a form after you die. Heaven, for example, like it just seems like you're still carrying the weight of being alive if you're still you, right? It just seems like a lot. Like I don't want to keep going. What is that? No. Is
there any other forms of death like you've heard of, or afterlife that you heard of that you would be like, oh, that'd be cool. I know Jesse's big into
reincarnation. I think reincarnation would add a level of fairness to the universe. Because my big thing is like people who have particularly bad, painful, short lives, and the thought that this is the only go round they get, that bums me out.
Sure. How do you I don't know. Do you reincarnate just as another human or another life form?
Another human, another life form, fucking tree, like anything. I'm all about it. Not even on this planet, somewhere else.
Anywhere else, yeah.
I hope there's some kind of leveling up. Like just the little bit of science we know, quantum physics. There's all these dimensions we cannot see or observe with the naked eye, but we know mathematically must and do exist in some way. What's happening out there? There's a whole lot. I just want to see it more.
Right.
I want to be everything. I mean, I lucked out the first time. I got white dude. I'm fucking tall. Like I can.
Great start.
Exactly.
Also, not sure it's the first time, right?
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I was just super awesome in my last few lives, and I earned this.
Back as a white man.
That's right. Just saying, if you're a white man, it means you did everything right for a few. This is terrible.
Yeah. This is a higher caste. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You did it.
But none of those kind of thrill you, no coming backs for you. Or
I'm like a firm atheist, and it's like not even because I'm like I don't. There's no way. It's just more like it's something I don't even think about or concern myself with. It's just like beyond. I'm never gonna know.
Right. Of course.
It just seems like a waste of energy.
Just because I don't know doesn't stop me from waking up in the middle of the night being confronted by the gaping maw that's staring at me.
Although the one thing I think. You want to be there for your funeral. You want to see how people take your death. I think I want that much. That's good. I think that's narcissism, right?
Yeah. No, that is the big one right there. I do want to see my funeral.
It's like I want to see the turnout. I want to see who's upset. I want to see I'm assuming a bunch of women be saying I would have fucked him, and then I'll be like, I missed it. That's what happens at funerals, right?
Yeah. Right. There's ghosts hovering above you that are just like, you would have fucked me, Karen? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, I should have whipped it out more.
Like, look at that motherfucker pretending I even liked him, that piece of shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. I mean, whatever that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. Just the funeral. It's a funeral, and then you dissipate after the last shot.
I'm good.
Yeah. Someone takes the last shot at Telemardu, and then you're like, I can finally go.
You gotta think how terrible those afterlives might be too. Like you're there, you're watching, and it's like, oh, that's it, and then they close the box, and then you were just in the box with your body.
Oh shit!
For the rest of eternity.
Oh, that's not fun. Like, I don't like that at all. No, but all right, that's cool. I like that.
That's
that's a great stopping place.
Yeah, I think that's about it, man.
Yeah. Social media again, so we can check out your stuff.
Yeah. OOH_Deary DEARY on Twitter and Instagram. Super funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just say it towards the end.
Far more energetic on the
If I didn't sell myself on the podcast.
Good hang
at Moonshine, second Thursday of every month. So the next one I believe is October 10th.
Sweet.
Make Up or Break Up, Good Comedy Theater, last Saturday of every month. The next one is September 28th, I believe. Nice. And
go out and see all that stuff from
check it out.
Thank you so much. And how about you, Jesse Bandies?
Standards at Jesse Dram, at Magic Misery Tour. We're at the Black Cat Tavern every first and third Wednesday, maybe. I don't know. And that's it. That's it for me right now. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much, John, again, and I appreciate it, buddy. So I'm gonna go out on some of this sweet death metal music as we ride out. And I am Neil Wood on .com on all the other stuff. We got some nice shows coming up, so you can check out there. And nerdswordspodcast.com, where you can check out those shows. Shelfont is going to sell out, so get on that now.
I'll be on that one.
Yes, you will. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks.
All right, we're all going to go pee.
Thank you. Yes. Drank so much water.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.